Ladies and gentlemen, everyone in between, join us tonight for a particularly stinky Div 2 game taking place between Imprint Esports and the D2R Rejects. I'm Ronan Tao, and joining me tonight for the first time this season on the casting desk, Mr. Stinky Steve. Stinky, how we doing?
Assalamu alaikum. I'm very good, Mr. Run and Tell. Thank you.
So tonight
Um,
we have a game between Imprint and D2R. My apologies if we could across there. Just a quick mention on this game. So Imprint Esports, very strong start to the season, kind of weak since then. So they're looking to pick up some form here against D2R, who are on a bit of a downward trajectory, right?
yeah, a bit. I mean, they started off very strong, but then somehow they got 1-1 by us towards the end of the group stage, so that's obviously a bad sign for things to come of them.
Most certainly. And it's worth noting the winner of this game will be facing off into June Squad Junior. So a particularly vested interest game for us. Let's have a look at these bans. So the immediate ban from Imprint is onto the Leshrac and onto the Tree. These are bans that we did also. Simply put, Plunk is too good on Tree in comparison to his other supports to ever ban anything else. And the Leshrac ban is straight up just a ban against Rinku. He is a bit of a monster on Leshrac. They followed it up with a ban of the Viper, which is the Pro Mike favorite. And D2R ban out the Brian Shaman, the Brian slash Konko, Jackro, and the Razor, who's just generically good right now, right?
Very good, but I don't know. I've played. Key was with us in the ill-fated June squad attempt at Kobold League, and I don't. He was our offlaner. I don't know if he plays Razor, so maybe a bit of a wasted ban. But I don't know. Maybe Asgrav's been cooking something up. I haven't looked at his game history recently.
First pick favorite D2R is the Lich. Now, they picked this against us for Plunk. It didn't feel amazing against us. I think this hero is great when it has a player who really, really comfortable on it. It felt like he was maybe a little bit less comfy on it, but Lich is one of those heroes where it's a bit of a confidence game. If you have a really good start, you're feeling good, that hero can just feel exponentially stronger.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a good enough hero to first pick. Like
Yeah.
ultimately you want to have something either you build a draft around or it's just like broken. Like for example, there he is, Largo, and also an unbelievable pick into Lich first. First that frost armor. You can run away from the ulti very easily. So I don't know how much I like it, but it's definitely a solid hero. I don't know if it's the slam your dick on the table first pick though.
I'm interested to see where this Largo goes. I mean, I assume Key plays it. I wouldn't be surprised if Conqueror didn't play it either. He likes these kind of high skill fours, so it would be nice to see on either of those positions. Probably preferable on Key, though. They ban out the Queen of Pain on the side of D2R. That is, of course, the Patter special. And they ban the Concho Tusk. I'm feeling like we might see a Concho clock, considering we see his Jackro and Tusk banned, and that is normally what he tends to do.
Yeah, I think the quap band's very important against imprint. It's definitely they can flex it as well. So it's not even like one of these things of like it's one of Potter's better heroes, but he also has some like weird stuff you can pull out. So it's nice to leave that open, especially Concho can be an absolute demon on it in the pause four. And then yeah, the Tusk is just like you Concho will fuck you up with that. He'll just beat you up.
Looking at this next ban, we see ban out onto the Underlord. If I was a betting man, that's Imprint trying to set themselves up for an Asgrav melee core. He's been looking very good on the Kez recently. I wouldn't be massively surprised to see that being the setup. Next pick is for Brian, and it's going to be the Warlock. Warlock Largo, kind of stinky in fights. Very nice.
Very stinky. You very fast, they very slow. Big rock,
Hmm.
AoE damage, much shared with bonds. I think this is like a nice opening salvo. Warlock also like really reliable laner. Largo, I mean, it's gonna be five, right, on the Warlock, but like you're saying, with the melee carries, also very good setup for them with the heal.
Most definitely. The next pickup for D2R is the Tiny. I believe we saw it was Maki play this. And one Rinku hero who we prioritized when we played against him, just because we don't like playing against it, is the Death Prophet. But is picking it this early still good?
I think so. You have some protection for it, as purgeable that it is with the Lich, and maybe if there's some like very sticky uh melee carry or something, the Tiny can maybe toss them away. I don't think it's not a fantastic hero at the moment, but like you said, Rinku's a bit of a specialist, and it is it does shut down a lot of very honest mid laners. You know, you kind of have to have something with a little bit of spice into a death prophet. You know, you can't just pick your normal sort of ember spirits and stuff and expect to have a good lane.
Yeah, and there is the Kez pickup as I was kind of thinking about earlier. I was thinking when we saw the ban out on the Underlord, the ban out on the Viper, this was kind of what I was seeing coming from Asgraf. He is very good in this hero. I do question its effectiveness against DP. I was thinking maybe we could see, I know he hasn't played it in a while, but his Ursa or his AM could have been particularly nice here. What do you make of this Kez into Death Prophet matchup?
I think it's pretty good because especially if he's going like that Falcon Blade, Deso, BKB, or Manta sort of build up, I think it's pretty good this game. You know, you just like you can kind of man up on Death Prophet and you have the big heal and stuff. And especially if you can just keep the silence off you, you can also kite a little bit with the katana W to hook to trees and stuff. And also you can play pretty quickly. Oh, there we go. There's your answer to Death Prophet in the middle lane. There is a hero that just doesn't care for laning so much.
You have to fight dishonesty with dishonesty, Sneaky Steve. I think that's what this pick is all about. He's going to drag those waves completely away from the lane and just not play the lane. I kind of like this as an idea. It's just something I've never seen PK do. So I'm interested to see if he has the tech to pull it off. I mean, Sand King's a hero that can do it, and PK does show up for big games, famously. So I'm interested to see if he has the discipline and the knowledge to be able to play that style of Dota.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen him on Sand King a couple times before. I don't think this patch. It was mostly that like pre TI when the hero was quite meta. I like ever referencing TI in a Dota 2 Ireland game, but look, here we are. And yeah, I think he could show up. He definitely has the skill to pull waves as Sand King. And you know, it's I think it's kind of an honest lane. It's just like it's honest in that you see Sand King picked and you go, okay, he's not laning ever.
I do like the fact that it's paired up with the Warlock also, being able to get those AoE epicenters. If you get a Fatal Bonds on top of those, it's one of the best combos the Warlock can get in the game. It's just beautiful. Really easy executable team fight coming out from Imprint so far. The next pickup for D2R is the Slardar, which I will assume is Barjakun.
Well, now, Mark, what I would think is they're probably flexing this Death Prophet to pause 3 because Slardar is by far the worst matchup I think you can have as Sand King. Like, he doesn't really need to see you. He does a lot of physical, like, he last hits better than you. He can also kind of, with his innate, just stand in the river and ignore most of your damage. So it's a bit of a it's one of those heroes that can actually shut the Sand King down, especially with sprint as well. He can chase you really well while you're trying to pull waves. So it's a rough one.
I could see that. D2R ban out the puck. Let's start thinking through patter heroes here. Oh no, he's the Sand King, so we're thinking through key heroes, most likely. No, it's Connor they put for last pick. That's a strange thing to
Yeah.
prioritize last.
Unless maybe they're
Unless
thinking
it's a
now it's
Largo.
time to flex the Largo 4. Yeah. I
Yeah.
definitely think the puck ban is a bit maybe misinformed.
Yeah, it's almost definitely the Sand King going into that mid lane. I think that that's just what makes sense here when you've already picked a Death Prophet. They're probably going to ban another mid laner here, maybe the Ember, maybe the Void Spirit, some patter favorites. Which I think is quite nice for Impa because it does allow them to flex his final spot. I think Connor does play this Largo. I just haven't seen a ton of it. If they do, they can set themselves up some really nice offlaners this game. Timbersaw maybe could look kind of fucking sexy. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I hate picking into DP, but it does shred
Yeah,
Tiny and Slardar. I think the Largo pause 4 could be a shout because there's a lot of stuff to purge this game, Slardar ulti and the Lich
for
Shield and
sure.
stuff like that. So you don't want him concentrating on running around with his Zags in ulti. But also, like, if they keep it core, this is a really, really nice, like, mid-game team fight lineup. Like, 20 minutes, you get a couple of big items. Ags on Largo, like a Deso BKB on Kez, and like Blink Ags on Sand King, you just fucking run at them. Like it's, I think it might be a little difficult for them to stop it on D2I because Slardar kind of gets this big power spike, like with Blink and Shard, and then he kind of has to wait and farm for a BKB if he's not just running around killing stuff, and he's not the best at farming. Whereas DP can just like start playing off like 6 and like gets a mech early and so it's kind of like a very fast timing from D2I and then a slightly slower, but I think more powerful timing from Imprint this game.
Bro, Mike pick. Is it Clinks or Wraith King? Wraith King is better here, but he's been a lot more comfy on Clinks this season. Now he could pull something else out, but like definitely one of the smaller pools when we're looking towards this team and what we were thinking of getting rid of. So it'll be interesting to see what he chooses to go for. Hello also to Pro Mike's mom who was watching the stream. You've raised a lovely son. Let's see what he picks. I don't know what to say, man.
I
That's
hope
nice.
to God his mom isn't watching the stream because professional Michael has been throwing some strays at me and
True,
my beautiful June's team,
true.
so he might have to catch a couple strays back. And
He
I'm
might have
guessing
to.
it's Life Stealer because they're taking so long. I'm wrong. It is Clank
Dude, I
Stealer,
told you
correct?
it's that easy.
Yeah. I mean, it's so good with Slardar, right?
Yeah, yeah, it is good. I mean, it is viable to getting burst in the wrong hands. But I have to say, although Super Mike's performances this season have been rough, I think on Clinks he's definitely looked the most consistent. It's been the hero that he's had the most success on. I think D2R are nearly unbeaten with it up to this point, except for against Motion. So a very sensible pick in this Clinks. I'm really kind of stumped what Imprint are doing next. If they are going Concho last, I don't know, fucking Clock or some shit. It's weird.
Yeah, what I would really like to see is something that shuts the Clinks down, or maybe like a Shadow Demon could go really well here. It's still in the pool. I know he plays it. It is a bit of a weird one. How do you round off your draft with a pause 4 here? And I'm not maybe the Clinks for some catch, but they have Sand King, maybe just some follow up. I really feel like the Shadow Demon could go hard here.
Yeah, I kind of like that. Kind of nice to have versus DP as well. Pop an ultra, deal with the rest of the fight, or even just getting those early disruptions off. It really forces her towards some items that she doesn't want to build. So I wouldn't hate seeing that in this position. But Imprint definitely taking some time. I mean, famously, their strength, I think, in this division is not their individual skill. I think it is their drafts. Um, and I was loving it up until kind of that last Slardar, the Death Prophet pick, and now I'm a little bit concerned as to what you actually do in this final slot. But I'm sure they're going to pick something here that's going to wow me, Stinky Steve. That's going to make me so convinced. It is incredible. It is about uh,
I like it. I
yeah,
think it's good. I don't think it's maybe the best pick you could have got here, but I mean, we're talking about early timings. It's something that can maybe shut that down a little bit. Like they really have to 5-man and ball on the side of D2I, and Clinks doesn't really want to do that. He wants to be farming and run to connect to his team. So it's something the Spirit Breaker can maybe shut down a little.
we're going to have to wait, Stinky Steve. A reminder to folks at home, this is a best of 3 game, I believe. Loser of this game is eliminated from season 6 of the Irish Dota League Division 3. I'm going to see if Concho can pull it off on the Spirit Breaker. I'm a little bit concerned about their lane, is my concern from this. The Lich plus Clinks just doesn't feel like it's going to be super pressured by Largo Spirit Breaker. But I could be wrong. I mean, there is a lot of ability here for them to fuck up, and there is definitely, I would say, a skill mismatch. Imprint's off lane is their 2 strongest players in terms of more, and I think that D2R's 2 weakest are in their safe lane. So there is definitely some comfortability there.
Yes. So yeah, it's a super passive lane from Imprint. Like there's no kill potential here. But I think there's not a huge amount of there's a lot of harass. Maybe they can pick off a kill or two, but I think as long as Imprint chill and just concentrate on farming, the lane should go okay. But I don't know if Key is capable of this. The man has murder running through his veins, which is what made him such a good fit with the Junes. So we'll see if he can chill out.
Well, he managed to make it from Athlone to Dublin, and that requires, some murderous intent. But so did the Imprint guys. They got out of the bog and into the beauty. Let's see if that is true in this game. Can they pull it off? Let's kick off this game. Best of 3 series. Game 1 takes place between Imprint Esports and D2R. Let's hear some pogs in the chat for Imprint, and let's hear some dogs in the chat for D2R. There's no biases on this cast. Let's go. So both teams heading straight out. Some smiley faces to start this off. One of PK's many all chats this game, I will predict, Stinky Steve.
I will say so. I actually have to unmute him because oh my god, there was a lot of all chat during the draft phase that I did not see.
Oh, yeah, there was. Bit of
Wow.
stinking.
Okay. Well, who cares? I have to unmute Patter PK for this game because I have him muted because he spams voice lines like a crazy person. Even when he's on my team, it tilts me. So we'll see what he gets up to.
Zagrav? What's that about? It's an interesting name. This Rinku guy has got some confidence, I gotta say it. Let's see if it's misguided. It doesn't make me want to root one way or another personally. I love both these teams. I,
Yes, I also love both of these teams.
I was wearing an imprint jersey during the draft stage for funsies. It was an imprint jersey inside out so that I would not show a clear bias, you know?
Yeah,
But on the
exactly.
Six Nations, third is class. We have PK's going for it already, baby. It is class for Scotland, to be fair. They've had a bad few years, Stinky.
Scotland have, and you know what? If unfortunately the third secret option happened of France winning, but I really hoped it would have been Ireland or Scotland this year. The Scotland deserve it. Okay, fair. Yeah, we don't want to talk too much about rugby or cool mind might come up. So
Okay,
let's
I'll
keep
keep
it
it on
Dota.
topic. Runes were exchanged and nobody fought. Are you fucking happy, Baloo? Like, we're keeping, like, what do you want me to say here? Wow, great right click. Let's
Sand
get
King leveled
it.
Sandstorm first and pressed
Yeah,
it on the wave.
that's crazy.
Oh, first sentry dropped by Rinku already, 30 seconds in. I feel
Yeah,
like whoever puts the first sentry down in this matchup tends to lose it. Tends to lose the whole sentry war. You want to be the second person to put a sentry down.
it's all about discipline. But he dropped the first God Gamer alert as well. You know, he killed their sentry, so he got it.
Nice. Oh, I still have him muted. I can't unmute him. Oh, I
So
can't.
Mike's
Unignore
courier with
music.
his tangos goes down to the level 1 Concho, getting a cheeky little pick on that, but taking a lot of damage in order to do so. Could be in some trouble here, does manage to escape and takes the wave with him. So he probably happy enough with that one, just able to bring that wave back towards his own side of the map and get a courier for it as well. But he doesn't actually connect with the range group, unfortunately. So not entirely ideal. And with no regen, a little bit frustrating there for the Spirit Breaker. Going to have to maybe go home after this, potentially.
Honestly, no. This is perfect. Like he lost range creep. What can you do? But this is what we want to see from him. Is just pulling waves constantly, and this like I said, it just they have to play it super chill.
It seems like that is what they're going to do. And a good start, it seems like so far in the lanes for both sides. Slight lead here for the side of Imprint as they are getting a lot more denies going these lanes. Keeping up 4 denies the first 2 waves. A little bit of pressure being put here onto this Lich. The Lich does manage to get away from that one. Something we actually didn't mention towards the start. It is actually going to be the DP going into that off lane. It is going to be the Slardar going mid as the natural counter to that Sand King.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, I'm very invested in this mid fight.
They're about to get another. They're about to get another courier. Oh, and
Let's
this one has its long
go.
recipe on it and an obs and a sentry. So Concho just single-handedly building the net worth advantage for Imprint right now off pure courier kills. It also means the Lich has actually been so kind of busy dealing with all the Spirit Breaker nonsense that it's been a nice old start for Key with 8 denies and 3 waves. Make that 9.
Yeah, you absolutely love to see it. This is peak Spirit Breaker laning experience.
It's one of those things. I think it's been like highly, highly underrated this season in terms of Imprint's performance. Concho, just between last league and this league, the amount of experience he's gained, but also just how much better he's gotten. I think it's been hugely noticeable for me anyway, as somebody who's been casting this team a long time. He's always been good, but this season just looking so much stronger, really looking like a pillar of this team.
Yeah, I was always like super respectful of him. I was like, he's a pretty good player. Like he'll play, but that's gone to terrified. I'm scared of what
Yeah,
he'll do to us if we
he's
if we
doing good
catch him
stuff.
again.
That
And the
being
middle
said,
lane, if
yeah,
I could mention it, 18-0 to 17-3. You love to see it. Not as much pressure being put down by the Slardar at the moment as maybe he could. Maybe that's because of the Sentry battle, which is starting up again now. But if you're playing Sand King right here, you're kind of happy with this.
yeah, that being said, he is being slowly run down now, and this is where we're going to see some
Oh,
trouble for PK. He is immediately killed off on this SK, but we have to say as well, it's what's PK? An Archon 3 versus Immortal mid? You probably take that in terms of how they're doing so far.
yeah. I mean, you're not happy with that death, but PK, he did this. I played Slardar into his Sand King at LAN, and I don't think he knows about his Sandblast facet, where he can just drop the sandstorm and then hit whoever's manning up on him. Like that's a big part of the laning on this hero against other melees.
Looks like some trouble here for Largo potentially in this top lane, getting very, very low here in terms of his ability, but he does manage to just about walk away from that one in the end. So nice of him to be able to escape just in time.
Yeah, quick run back to base for him is going to be rough, but he shouldn't lose too much for it. Maybe just one wave.
Update, by the way, as a professional caster, I didn't have Baloo's view on. I was like, damn, Baloo be missing these kills, but really, I was just looking at the wrong thing. Oh, what a night. What a night. What a night. Getting back into this laning stage, discussing it, looking really good. I mean, something we haven't really talked about too much so far because it's been quite a static lane. Let's have a bit of a discussion about this safe lane for the side of Imprint. This Asgrav Kez is 24-9 against the Death Prophet. Death Prophet only 12-1 right now. Barjakun struggling more than perhaps he should against this big ol' Kez. And I know if you get Asgrav a good start, I would say his biggest weakness is his laning stage. Once he gets to that mid and late stage, he's very good carry. So quite a nice sign for him here.
Yeah, this is a guy, like, if you don't shut him down in the lane, he farms very quickly. Like, he's maybe not the best at playing from behind, but he's so good at playing from ahead or equal. I definitely think, like, with the Warlock in his lane and the Tiny is the opposing pause forward, like, he's super happy just sitting down here chilling. They go on him, they take this sort of trade now, but Warlock has another heal up
Oh,
into.
potential
Oh
kill
my god!
onto the DP. A lot of damage coming out from that jump forward from the Kaz. Not able quite to finish off the DP this time. But DP is going to be forced. I'd say to
He kills him. I was about to say you have to cue the wave. If he cues the wave, he kills him. He got him.
And down goes Barjakun. That's a huge kill in this bottom lane right before the Lotuses spawn as well. So it's going to be a free Lotus immediately thereafter.
Especially if Asgrav can really push this wave in, DP is going to lose a lot of creeps. But it seems like she'll be just about ready to TP back in now.
Quick note, Malonigans didn't hear, but you've heard any game audio. I assume you've heard, but just in case you didn't see in the chat is an issue. Let's hop back into this one. So far, PK actually has been catching up quite well. 38-0 despite that death. And now going to screw up this haste rune. Might look to make a rotation here onto Promike. Promike, though, clicking down Key. Key actually gets quite low, and Key not super high level right now is the one issue that he's having. And looks like he's going to go down. One more right click, so it's going to take from the Lich, and it is enough. Down goes the Largo. They are bringing the Sand King with the haste rune. Easy kill here onto the Lich, but can't get the follow-up. He stays here on the Clinks. He doesn't recognize the threat coming in from the Sand King, and now it looks like it's an easy double kill for PK, and all of his laning woes are reversed at once.
Yeah, this is perfect. This is ideal mid laner behind situation. Like, that first ult that you get out from a Sand King is so important because it does unbelievable amounts of damage at level 6, especially if you're fighting like level 3 or level 4 and 5 heroes. Like, that's perfect.
I think the big issue right now for the side of Imprint is just that Largo is very poor. So is the Death Prophet, so not the worst thing in the world, but I feel like Largo has a lot more timing as he needs to hit than Death Prophet in the early game to get that Ags online early, and until he gets it, he's going to be a little bit of a bot, building into that Soul Ring now so he can at least have some early effectiveness, but I really do think they have to do something here to try and help Key's game, and recognizing that they do bring up the Spirit Breaker now, might try and make a play here onto the Lich, but it doesn't feel like he is wanting to play too aggressively here, instead just choosing to D-ward, and Largo's still left in a bit of a struggle session right now, Stinky.
Yeah, I mean, he's quite poor, but also he is 13 denies. Like, he's making sure that Clinks isn't getting out of this lane with too much. Like, he obviously has a kill now.
Oh!
Also,
Rock dropped. They could probably kill both if they get onto this Tiny here. Tiny, good juking into the trees there, but it's not enough. The Warlock Golem is here. They do stay alive on DP by the skin of his dick. 21 HP on that DP at the end of that fight.
Holy Moses.
Things
things are really starting to hot up here. I was kind of thinking, you know, like, earlier timing on the side of D2I, they probably have stronger lanes, but like, things are really looking up for Imprint right here. If they can carry this momentum, like, the game should be pretty easy for them.
Yeah, it's looking quite nice. The Kez able to build towards that early Battle Fury, has the Cornucopia and Treads finished up already, so Asgrav off to a flying start here, and PK equally having a really nice one, able to clear up all these jungle stacks. He is halfway towards that blink already. Their timings are going to come a little bit fast, and they're going to have to find a way of dealing with them, and the one solace they do have right now is that it is quite a poor Largo, but not as poor as this DP right now.
Yeah, DP's queuing up into the Guardian Greaves, which I feel like is just now the offlaner item that you kind of have to go for on anything that can buy an aura. And it's quite good against the side of Imprint. You can purge off those katana stacks. You can purge off what you call it, the fatal bonds. Like, this is going to be a big item for her to get. And if this timing is too late, like, she might just get clicked down by Kez. All this extra stuff won't matter.
So when Kez finishes up that Battle Fury, do you think he's going to go towards a more traditional build, or recognizing the fact that he's like in DP, could we see something like the Diffusal be picked up this game?
No, I don't think so. This is a lot of the pros do this. This is a really safe build. It's just like this Battle Fury.
Oh, he caught again. He is maybe staying alive here from the Warlock. Lots of heals coming out. They have to deal quite a lot. And Patter's coming in on the Sand King. They're gonna have to back quite soon because the Spirit Breaker's in as well, and they've jumped immediately onto this Tiny. Tiny goes down, and then Lich gonna follow immediately there afterwards. The rotations are there. They dive very deep. They do force 5 rotations. Asgrab maybe not needing to come in there, but picking up those 2 kills places them in a firm control of this kind of early mid stage so far.
Yeah, I mean, Patter's 200 gold away from Blink now, whereas Slardar, who really should be coming out of this lane quite far ahead, is 700 gold off his. And now he's getting his rune stolen by a fucking chicken. What's happening?
Oh, man. Chicken Little stealing the fucking arcane rune in this bottom lane, setting himself up to be able to press Q every now and then a little bit faster. I suppose Slardar not too vexed about losing an arcane, but still a rune that he probably would have liked to have had.
Exactly. And now I'm just looking at the Kez build as well, max Q. Like, this is the greedy farming build. A lot of people will go for the max Katana because it's more harassing lane. Maybe I have that the wrong way around, but that's the way I see it. I don't know too much about this hero, but like, I feel like this is something he shouldn't have got away with. I know Tiny's a little better in lane than Spirit Breaker, but he's not that bad.
I'll take your tribute.
So far looking nice for Imprint, a 2k net worth lead at just the 11-minute mark. The Largo is starting to catch up onto that Clinks. The Death Prophet, meanwhile, still a fair bit behind, almost being eclipsed here by this Warlock. Gotta say as well, I mean, press Q, press W, not a super hard hero the lating stage, but really nice plays from Brian so far. Pick up the level 7 already from that Grimoire. And here they come,
and the first Blink Epi out.
It's already on top of this DP, get hit with that charge as well. DP dies almost immediately on Barjakun. And Barjakun's forced even further back from that mech build. PK now dominating. The reveal of the Blink is not a kind one, unfortunately, there for this DP. And in the meantime, Largo is starting to build a bit of net worth in this top lane, starting to come back into this game. But so is Pro Mike, you know, quite enough start from him. He has his Falcon Blade finished. Building into that Desolator next, I think that might be the damage timing they're willing to go on, but recognizing this Imprint, starting to move heroes towards top. They do have a Spirit Breaker charging in. They have vision onto this Clinks. They have the follow-up is the question. No ult right now on the Spirit Breaker. They do throw the Frog Stomp. They have the Lick thereafter. They have detection. No, because his Courier was killed with his dust.
His Courier was killed
fight.
with 2 dusts. That's a sad one, honestly. That should have... Well, maybe they didn't have the damage to kill the Clinks there, but at least they're kicking him away from richer farm and in to annoy his Slardar, who'd really like to be farming the area that he is now sitting on. But it is Blink finished for Slardar.
Yeah, this Blink timing quite big. I mean, you do have a Tiny, but a little bit thing that I'm concerned about is you have the initiation from the Blink Slardar, but it's very hard for the heroes that they have to follow up that initiation right now. I suppose that Clinks has some natural ability to come into these fights. He's probably going to want to be the one who's getting those kills with the Slardar, but he wants to be farming right now, right?
Yeah, I mean, not really. Now he has Blink, now it's time to kill. Now it's time to murder.
I mean, Mr. Clinks wants to be farming.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Clinks wants to farm. Sorry, I misheard. I zoned out for a sec. He wants to farm, yeah, definitely. He wants to finish this death up before he starts doing anything. But also, like, he has a Slardar on his team. He can probably just connect, and that's better. Like, he probably should be bottom right now hitting this tower. But instead, he's farming cut camps.
They are going to get this bottom tower, but in the meantime, Asgrab is going to finish off that Battle Fury off the top tower gold. That is going to be enough for him to secure that one. And they're going to go straight through the portal. It hasn't been spotted out yet, but the Slardar is waiting beside it. They know it's coming. He comes from the Spirit Breaker. He's immediately just going to die. But they bring in Brian as well. They want to fight this one. They drop the Warlock OT, but all it does is act as something for the Lich to bounce to. And now Brian in huge trouble getting caught up with the charge. And that's a Warlock OT down. And 2 heroes dead for absolutely nothing. And Slardar gets the gold from that Warlock Golem. Really ill-advised jump there. Pulling a bit of a passport issues there onto that.
I was about to ask, can we call this a minor passport issues?
Yeah.
It's not a you forgot your passport at the airport, but you forgot it in the taxi.
Now listen, I'm not going to say passport issue like minors. Like, that's for you to say. I think that's really uncalled for. There's no evidence of that. But if you want to say
I can't turn my mic on, you piece of shit. You watch it.
our observer is not too pleased. This game being observed, of course, by the wonderful Malou, who made those awesome graphics you saw before the game. Give him a quick pog in the chat.
Oh yeah.
You're stalwart of the community. I have to say that now that I called him an
Yeah,
FC's
piece
Island
of shit.
enthusiast. Has to be done. But getting back into this game, looking at these networks right now, you mentioned that perhaps the side of D2R want to have a faster early game. Are they doing enough? Was that last fight enough for them to pull themselves back into this game? I mean, they're going to want to connect here with Asgrav. If they catch him out, that could be a big shift in momentum, right?
Yeah, to kill the Kez here, that's huge. He's just got Bottle Fury. This is the part of the game where he should be like just raking it in net worth wise, and he's deciding to go on half HP and mana and go to a different jungle camp. That's smart.
Yeah, they do their best. He's walking back towards the tower here. The courier has revealed him. Slardar probably notices this, and he is chasing him down now, right behind him. Could be in some trouble here, but he does successfully sniff that move out, so it is a wasted smoke. And in the meantime, net worth being gained across the map. The gap between the Largo and the DP is extending. 1,200 gold advantage now for this Largo, who is just 1,200 gold off his axe.
Yeah, I mean, this is like 16 minutes, I think, is the timing you really want to see the Axe coming out. But if it's 17, you know, closer to 18, it shouldn't be too much of a big deal. Especially in a game like this, like, you're like, if you're Largo, the Ags is the main thing. Any other items you can get, like maybe a BKB's nice, or maybe some armor item like Shiva's, like, that's good. But the main thing is, if this Kez has the right items, the game should be easy. And it looks like he's going for the Manta first, so maybe delaying their timing a little bit. Like, the BKB is what you really want. But also, you know, if you can't hit with the attack speed of the Manta, doesn't matter having the BKB.
Yeah, I'm pretty much in full agreement with you there. PK hits that level 12 as well on the Sand King. He is just 1,000 gold off his Aghanims as well. So his Aghanims and Key's Aghanims likely to align quite well. So that is go time for the side of Imprint, especially, as you mentioned, with that Manta being built into by this Kez. It feels like things are starting to line up for them to have a pretty disgusting team fight quite soon.
Yeah, I mean, the Sand King is happy to just start killing people whenever. Once you get Blink Dagger is the big thing, and then level 2 ulti is the next big
Go here onto the Slardar. There's 4 heroes
there's
from
a
Imprint
huge
here.
kill.
He's DD, but the DD ends, and now they have the epicenter. It's on top of the Slardar, and the Slardar is very dead, and Asgrav able to get the last little swipe there, so that is a pretty free kill. Meanwhile, though, it does look like they might have to trade off Key here, who is very close to Aghanim, so quite a bad death if he can't get out of this one. Does drop off the Frog Song, stay alive for now. They're bringing in the Spirit Breaker to try and keep him alive. There goes the song. It's an avalanche in 8 seconds, a toss and 1. They can't keep up with this Largo, and that means they don't actually get that exchange kill.
There might have been a turnaround there. There might have been a revenge kill, but Spirit Breaker got flashed by Roche. Maybe a blessing in disguise.
Classic inside agent job being done there by the Roche means that he can't connect to that fight, but still looking so good for the side of Imprint, just building this steady momentum. I'm sounding very biased here. There's still many ways for Imprint to fuck this up, and I have seen these boys fuck it up in much stronger situations before. But that being said, the laning stage has gone absolutely swimmingly for them so far. I said this at the start, and I'm going to reiterate what I said. It just feels like the side of D2R pick supports that are a bit too greedy before they come online. Not necessarily the Lich. Hang on, jump in now. We go on to Patter. Patter's in some trouble here. He does manage to get out with that stun. And the Slardar recognizing all the TPs, tries something big bombs coming out from Brian. It does catch on, just 2 of them, and now they're in. They do connect onto this DP, and the DP's going to take a lot of damage here from the Raptor Dance. She has the ult, but he's licked in by the Largo, surviving for now. Big ult coming off the Lich. Might bounce between this Warlock Golem and all these heroes, and indeed it does, and they lose PK. It's a huge death there, and they don't finish off this Death Prophet, and this ult is still bouncing. A disastrous fight for the side of Imprint right before all of their Ags come online. This was not the timing they wanted. They had the Largo one, but he wasn't in the fight yet. So it's a triple kill for Barjacoon and a mid tower to go down immediately thereafterwards. Not what Imprint were looking for, and it's not done yet because they're on top of Key. They have the Slardar bashing him down, doing what he can to get away with this move speed, but it's not going to be enough. Next hit is a bash. The bash goes down. He's staying alive for longer than he has any right to, but even then, it's not enough. It's a 4-for-0 in favor of D2R Rejects. Make that a 5-for-0 as Pro Mike comes in, and now D2R with the net worth advantage, 5k shifted overnight.
Ooh, that was a tough fight to take. That was a strange call. Like, running up high ground with no vision from Imprint was maybe not the greatest decision they've ever made. Like, this is one of those teams, like, you're waiting on you're waiting on the Sand King ulti a lot, and it was on cooldown right there. Like, it's doing a lot of the heavy lifting for your damage in this early game. Like, the bonds doesn't really matter unless there's an epicenter just really sorting it out for you. Like, Kez isn't in the Kesem up stage of his progression just yet. And also, look at this deep ward. He's he might be in trouble here.
Yeah, the Slardar is looking for him. He's right next to him. If he has +1, I think he can kill him. But without any supports connecting, I think it's a difficult go, especially with the Spirit Breaker's global presence. But Kez is hanging around, making it a little bit easier for him potentially. He is, you know, not full HP here on the Slardar. Is he going to try to do this? I think he's waiting for his own heroes to be able to come in, or for him to expand the Raptor charge. But he pops that invis, recognizing that something is afoot, and gets away from that one for now. The Tormentor spawning in 10 seconds. The Slardar is going to use that portal to get right over to it, but it seems like Imprint, they still have their ultimates except for the Warlock ulti, because they didn't have to use the Slardar epi last fight. So they are in a position here where if they take this right, they could do something with it. They pop the Observer, run straight in on the Spirit Breaker, and the Spirit Breaker does manage to group them up somewhat, but dies
the epicenter.
And Kez is caught at the start of this fight by the Tiny. The epicenter's there, but it's doing very little, and now this team fight is looking terrible for the side of Imprint, who've lost 2 heroes immediately. They do kill off the Slardar. Rinku goes down, and Plunk dies in the backlines. Can they rescue this fight? The Clinks is rather low, but he's outputting so much damage. They don't want to quite go on him just yet. And Brian goes down meanwhile.
He has nothing. He has nothing death factored.
PK, no! No, PK, he misses the stun, and consequently his own carry goes down. And now another disastrous fight for Imprint. Barjacoon with his second triple kill in a row. All of a sudden, this Death Prophet is 1,500 ahead of Key.
Oh, that's just the perfect sort of comeback for DP. And now going into this.
Oh, Connor? No,
oh, Connor.
He's right clicking.
No points in bulldoze. Oh, that's. That was a bit of a YOLO play right there.
Was you only live
and
once.
You're not in the position where you need to be taking those plays yet. They haven't even taken the Tormentor yet. You can absolutely reset this. Well, maybe you can't. Your ults are all down. They're all full HP again. So, never mind.
What can you do type moment. Although if they do go down quite low to this Torm, they do take it very quickly with the Slardar. The Slardar is back in action now. There's 7 seconds, but the heroes are too far spread. It doesn't seem like Imprint are interested in contesting this one whatsoever. Just going to give it over to the side of D2R. And there's some good shards to pick from here. The Ice Spire obviously being the one that you really want to get. The Ice Spice, a fantastic shard if you can get it. And that is the one they get. So Plunk picking that up. Very, very nice in terms of his kill ability this game.
Yeah, now things are looking very rough for Imprint, actually, because this is... Now their timings are disparate, that Manta isn't online for Kez yet. The Axe is online for the Sand King now, at least, so he's going to be outputting a lot of damage. Maybe he can carry some fights for him, but I have to say, I just want to see Patter. He's actually doing really well this game, but he needs to chill out. He needs to just take an extra second, maybe bait his team a little more. Like this Spirit Breaker can go and engage for you. You don't have to be the first in on this... Sand King, because he just went and ulted the solo Slardar when there was 3 heroes standing within epi range right next to him. And he could have gone for them and spread that damage out a lot more.
When PK looks at the side of D2R, all he sees are 5 men wearing Cool Mind Rugby Club jerseys. Of course, the one team beating Longford or FC in, I don't know, Division 12 of the Irish League this year in rugby. And it's just the anger. I think you're right. It's just he had a really confident start and maybe got a little overconfident in his last couple fights. A really important misstun on Promag that last fight ended up dooming both him and Asgrav. So if he can cool the jets a bit here and pick up that composure we saw from him earlier, he can really get a lot done. But at this point, it seems like he's probably going to want to farm his BKB before he's ready to make that kind of risk again.
Yeah, it's either that or maybe just realize that you're gonna be dying in these fights. You know, just send in with your Ags. Like, Epicenter still does damage after you die. If you can get most of a Sandstorm and 1 or 2 stuns and an ult in, you're happy, you know? You don't have to be immortal in these fights, but it's Asgrav now on the Kez I'm looking at. It's a game of catch up for him. He's not going to take over the game in way you see a lot of Kezes do. But maybe he can scale with this Battle Fury, get a BKB, maybe something like a Butterfly, and then be able to man fight the cores on D2I like you'd like to see a Kez do.
Concho is spotted out there by D2R, so he is forced back here on the Spirit Breaker. It's worth noting he is quite poor as well. Still some finishes Spirit Vessel at 24 minutes. In fact, he's poorer than his own Warlock. So his farm deprioritization, we saw a lot of early engagements from him, but since then just not able to build that into an amount of gold that has enabled his game.
No, not so much. It's tough. It's looking tough.
Looks like it might get a little tougher here. The Spearbreaker is just able to walk away from this one. He does force a couple heroes down in order to do so. So good map pressure there coming out from Contrabar. He is able to at least force a bit of time for his team, a bit of time for that Kez to finish up that Manta style, which he has now, and start building in towards that BKB.
Yeah, honestly, Concho is a bit of a dark horse this game. Like he's forcing a lot of things to happen. Maybe not all of them the best for his team, but something like that is really how you want to see your 4 playing in a game like this now. Is just sort of dragging cores out of their farming pattern on the enemy team to come deal with your bullshit.
Indeed, that is what you want from 4 playing. Very good, Eveson. Very good. Good 4 playing indeed coming on here. Connor is famous for his good 4 playing, you know that? He's a real gentleman.
He's very he's very considerate of his compatriots.
Yeah, he's a good guy. As the only Englishman in Longford, he had to learn to be subtle in his approach towards the ladies. Let's see how he does here. He's actually now trying to make a go out onto this DP. He's taking a lot of damage, but nice jump in there from the Tiny. Mackie with the big play. Now the follow-up as well. The damage is a lot. Trying to get out with that Largo, but silence up for now. But Peak actually chooses this as a time to initiate. They drop the Warlock Golem, but they still finish off the DP. They do finish off in the end, but Pro Mike is in and doing a lot of damage. The Ice Spire with the Hypnotize onto Powder. That's 4 for 1 off the back of this fight. There's no Kez in your fight. You can't win it.
Absolutely not. No, it was a bit of a YOLO. They didn't have vision of the Clinks. They maybe thought that it was just 2 or 3 heroes there, but it was the entire team. You know, you have to be... It was just a bit of a successful bait. Now they're straight into Roche.
Indeed they are, and they're going to take this very quickly with the Clinks and with the Slaughter. That Roche melts like butter. Kez checking to see if there's a Wisdom potentially left from 7 minutes ago, but doesn't quite find one. And now it's a free Roche for the side of T2R, and one that I think Pro Mike is likely to be taken here.
Yeah, he should be. He's going to be the one to be really sieging these towers. I mean, DP can step up as well, but she doesn't. And Pipe coming out now for Death Prophet, which is going to be hellish for this Sand King, especially because he's their main source of damage right now. So BKB being closed in on by Kez.
Yeah, so far I gotta say, this Largo's effectiveness just being shut down that early, we just haven't seen as much as you would normally see from a player like he, you know. What is he? High Divine Immortal player playing in Div 3. Normally a huge part of Imprint's success this season, and just hasn't seemed to be reaching his mojo on the Aussie Frog thus far. And they're going to need him to start doing it soon. Concho jumps in quite aggressively, and he's just going to die.
He is the same MMR as Mr. Diddles.
Damn.
Or maybe a couple hundred, maybe 100 or 200 for that. But, you know.
Well, as a former key teammate from the dearest roster of Fear the Samurai, I will say he's 5th key.
Stinky Steve and the BO boys.
Oh, it was BO boys. He's 5th key, 5th key is what I call him. Either has the best fucking game of his life, or it goes kind of rough.
Yes.
And I think that's kind of what's happening here.
A little bit. It's getting a little rough for him, but look, I think this lineup can still come together. I know I keep saying it, but it's just this Kez BKB. It's just, it needs to come in. They need to take a good fight with it. Their imprint, or the imprint high ground, is good. You know, maybe Warlock could grab a shard real quick or something. But they can hold here. They can definitely hold.
Feels like it's one of these games where it's almost strange in that Imprint got past like what was objectively what was supposed to be the hard part of the game for them. And then immediately thereafterwards, things just started looking extremely tough for them just off taking poor engagements.
Yeah, to put it more I don't know, succinctly, yeah, that's a great word. John No leaves in the chat. Imprint got past the hardest part of their draft and started losing. Like, yeah. It's that's gotta. I've been in this situation before. It feels really rough. It's like I don't know, maybe you put so much focus into the lanes and you come out of lanes and you're like, okay, cool, the enemy heroes can't do anything to us. But no, they still got their timing before you.
Okay, BKB delivered for Kez, and they have a DD up on PK. 2 minutes left in this Aegis. This could be go time for the side of Imprint. They have all of their ultimates ready to go. They need to get a good start to this fight. They have the vision on this right side. The Lich could be caught out here. In comes Key from the side, trying to make a play into this fight, but he's immediately hypnotized, jumping onto the backlines, onto this Klink's ginormous Warlock ulti with a follow-up epicenter. This is the team fight that Imprint needed, and 2 heroes are dead immediately. They are bouncing that bouncy ball back and forth, but in the meantime, it looks like Klink is going to lose his first life. Only the Slardar left alive, but does have that BKB, so he'll output a lot of damage. They've only lost Brian in order to do this, and now they're chasing them down. They're not done yet. They're charging in, misstun there, unfortunately, from PK, but now in comes the Raptor. In comes this big old Kez, and they're forced to run away. They pop the BKB on this Klinks, which means PK could...
I don't know if they want to keep chasing.
They have the stun ready on PK. They catch it. It's onto this big old Klink.
Oh, they do!
Down. One more right click. Down he goes. They only lose a Warlock, and they claim 5 heroes, including the Aegis. Imprint have found a way back into this game. The DD bottled up from the Sand King with some good teamfight execution. Seems like that's all they needed, Stinky.
Yeah, absolutely. I like that was perfect. That was the great way to take the fight. The Epi hitting multiple people, like spreading their damage out with the bonds, the Warlock ult, stopping some goes, and then if you noticed that the Golem was just smacking Slardar, canceling his blink, annoying him. Like it was really good. Every little piece of the puzzle came together there.
Indeed it did, and with that, now the Kez can start building in towards that Butterfly, which is going to nullify a lot of the damage that both the Klinks and the Slardar are currently outputting, so going to be a really big timing for them. PK moving in towards the Crystallis, trying to output more himself, and the Largo building into that S&Y, which is now finished up.
Yeah, I would have really loved to see a Shivas come out here from Sand King, or well, maybe Largo. Oh my god, wait, there's two Ghost Scepters on the side of Imprint. Like, really good item at this stage in the game before these nullifiers start coming out. For D2I, though none of them queued up so far.
Just casual Ghost Scepters, just feeling a little spooky.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting ready for Halloween in 6 months, you know.
If I was gonna be like real corny right now, I'd be like, well, let's see who's tricking and treating in this next fight, Stinky Steve. I wanna fucking die, man. What's wrong with me? Why am I doing this on a Wednesday?
Because I'm here. You've been infected. Whatever.
Not the first time you've infected me with something on a Tuesday evening or Wednesday evening.
We don't need to go back to the foreplay conversation.
Listen. What can we say? But in any actuality, they do still have a slight lead on the side of D2R. It's almost entirely concentrated in the back pocket of both Mike and the supports as of now, but closing that gap on the side of Imprint, especially seeing as PK is pretty much on parity now with the Slardar.
Yeah. Slardar does, I mean, with the game being what it was, this is good to see, but in, you know, the Sand King, if given more space to farm, will just see a rocket ahead of Slardar. Like, it farms way quicker. So mind you, actually, I was about to say, oh no, Slardar got the left talent at level 20, and I think the right talent is a bit better in terms of damage, and it lets you one-shot creep waves. So you start to farm, which is one of Slardar's main problems, is he's really bad at that.
Chooses to go instead for the Corrosive Haze, potentially seeing much more value in taking some quick objectives this game. Smoke comes out from the side of D2R. The rotating 4 heroes. PK is walking directly into them. Humpadum, I'm from Longford, boy. And he's spotted immediately by the Slardar. They jump onto him. Sorry about my PK impression there, but down he goes on the Sand King.
We call that one a Midlands murder right there.
Indeed, he will be a bog body.
You guys remember I'm also from Longford, right?
Listen.
No.
We all have faults in this world.
I hope the stream can't hear you.
This is ridiculous.
He's muted the stream. He's very upset with a lot of our comments.
Observed by our favorite Leitrim observer.
Yeah, the pride of Roscommon, Malou. What a guy.
That'll be worse.
Listen, I don't know, not much. But anyway, let's get back into this one. They are pushing down this bottom tower. It is looking like it's under a huge amount of threat from this burning army coming up the Clinks, and it melts this pressure. Down it goes. Imprint giving up their last outer tower in that bottom lane. Not much they could do there just in terms of their positioning. Just feels like a no-win situation, unfortunately, for the Imprint boys. Meanwhile, the Kez is just 400 gold away from that butterfly. This could be the timing they look to in terms of taking this next fight. Patter respawn and this butterfly could be kind of big.
Yeah, I think they've learned their lesson from earlier now. Now they're chilling out. They're like, okay, we have big items and 300 gold. Let's wait for that. If Mr. Devi Lama Solarcrest Samuel is watching, you could learn a thing or two from Imprint here as well.
A really big shard to pick up there for the side of Imprint, though, I will say. Getting that shard onto the Death Prophet, getting that fear, just an added bit of lockdown. Their team currently somewhat lacks, so a really nice one there for them to pick up. Also more survivability coming out from the extra Spirit Siphon charges. Still anyone's game. It comes down to this teamfight execution. Can they catch? It feels like Patter or Brian are the big two ones they want to get at the start of this fight. The question is, can they get them? The Frog, or New Zealand Frog, as I've been informed in the chat, is also building up a bit now. Looking like he's going to go for the Shivas next, as you mentioned. Tell me why this is a very good item for right now.
Well, I cast a curse. He just bought an Ogre X, but Shivas is very good because pretty much all of the damage on the side of D2I rejects is physical. You just need a lot of armor to deal with that. I mean, the BKB is very smart from the Largo. Maybe he could have got, well, Lotus Orb ain't so good, but, you know, I was hoping to see the Shivas come out on that Sand King, and then maybe Largo could get his own armor item. But you know what? It's working for them so far.
Could be trouble here for professional Michael. He is going to be spotted out by the Largo. He's slowly pondering away, though. The Kez gets spotted, though. Unfortunate timing there from Asgraf means that the gank is actually unsuccessful. And he's able to toddle away. He hops in his Ford Transit and drives away from that fight. Konko's on him. He spotted him. He's hit up immediately with the dust as well as that ult. And now this Clinks is dead man mode.
Oh my god. Drop more class. Brilliant. Whatever. He's going to change the map state.
Yeah, that's it. Warlock, excellent hero at changing the map state. Drop it in front of a tower. Get it for free. They will have an Arcane coming up on this big DP, and there's also a lot of pressure coming out this bottom lane. It does force back Concho for now, but it does look like they're going to get at least this tier 2 in exchange, and Roche guaranteed up in about 40 seconds, so if they can get to it fast enough, they're not a very good Roche taking team, so it feels like they're going to have to get at least a couple more pickoffs before they take that this game.
On the side of Imprint, yeah. I mean, I think actually D2I can kind of walk into Roche and take it whenever this game, but Imprint definitely need to think about it a bit more. Maybe the Slardar or Lich, maybe they have to get rid of something like that. Though I want to point out here, Slardar, AC, never mind, picked up the Monkey King bar pretty much just after that butterfly was revealed for Kez. So
they are going to wait out the Roche.
Scary.
3 seconds. The Roche is back up now, so they're going to try take it before this Clinks comes back. They have 10 seconds until Clinks is back, but D2R are quite separated on the map, so they might not get here in time. They're not moving heroes over here, Stinky Steve, which makes it seem like they actually are just going to get this for free on Imprint. A huge misjudgment here on the side of D2R. Hands that over to Imprint, and they get the Aegis onto Kez and leave the banner in the pit as an offering.
Dude, who needs Roshan's banner? It's an item.
Turn around. Brian. Roshan's banner's from Thailand. Turn around.
Imagine the musty smell of that delicious I was gonna say parchment. That's not the right thing. Fabric, I guess. I don't know.
It's still there, you know? No one's saying it. They just forgot about it. I'm sure whoever gets the next row should be very pleased that they get 2 banners instead of 1, but for now, neither team choosing to pick up the flag. Too heavy to put in your back pocket, perhaps, Stinky.
Yeah, perhaps. And Monkey King bar finished for Clinks. That butterfly had a short lifespan. So, mind you, it gives you a lot of DPS.
Yeah, very heads up building from the sides of D2R. They do still get the DPS coming out from that butterfly. I suppose the timing secured them Roche in a way because they were able to kill off the Clinks so quickly, but other than that, it's kind of not what you want to see when you rush towards that butterfly. But now, with the Aegis on Asgrav, he could start looking a little scary in these fights. Currently having, a quiet enough game, 5-2, so not bad by any estimation. Let's see what he can do in this fight. He walks immediately onto the Death Pop and starts hitting off as much damage as he can, but in comes Maki with the use of that Avalanche and all this damage on top. Here goes PK, and the ults are ginormous from Imprint. They melt the side of D2R.
Slardar is not here.
Immediately, and Slardar is not here for the fight. He's having a little bath in the river, and it's a 4-0 in his absence.
Rinku just sold that one. I don't know if he was there, would it have gone much differently with that? That execution was really
Connor
good.
spotted him. Connor spotted him. He's got the charge.
Oh, a quick back for the kill.
Heroes. Here they go. Rinku, he sold the future for the highest bid, but the price was not right. They're on top of the Slardar. They're chopping him down. It's a 5-0 team wipe for Imprint. They don't even use their Aegis, Stinky.
That's gorgeous. And look, if they head straight back mid now with the creep wave, that could be a high ground break. That could be the tier 3 down.
No banner. It was aging, fermenting in the Roche pit. One would have thought that would be a good thing to help push this waves out. But as you said, no Slardar for 60, and he does not have buyback. He bought out before that last fight.
Yeah, heading
This
towards
might
an
be two
80.
waves.
That Hyperstone. That Hyperstone's gonna sting right now.
Yeah, and no buyback on Pro Mike either. So it's 20 seconds until you have any core other than the Death Pop.
That's Elena. That's Elena Rax right now.
It has to be. I mean, this is a pretty free, easy lane, especially with that bonus attack speed coming out and it lingers from the Warlock. That gives you so much ability to just take these racks so quickly. And down they go indeed. Doesn't look like they're going to pressure for a second, but they do still have Aegis. They want to try and do so. Seems like they're going to play a little conservatively and go for this tier 2 instead, recognizing it's 20 seconds till the Slardar's back, recognizing the Clinks is back, recognizing the Warlock ulti is not up. It is not the time for them to go quite yet, but they do take a sizable lead now, 9k up at 40 minutes.
Yeah, and that Daedalus now finished up for Kez. That's a scary one. This is where you get the Chasm up a little.
You also get the level 25 concurrently with that, so the extra echo slash attack, very, very strong in terms of those double Qs, really good for sieging as well. And they go immediately onto this tier 3. They want to go for it. The Ice Armor is on it. They do have all heroes up. They have no Exorcism, though. They did pop that in the DP during that last fight, which means they are just able to pressure this tower. Exo is now back up, and they're charging.
Big charge.
Maki with the cancel there, with the Avalanche. Very heads-up positioning coming out from Tiny. Now the Kez looks like he's in a bit of trouble. He does still have the Aegis, so he's probably happy to expend this one, especially if this big old Slardar plus the Aegis is there.
Here's Epicenter.
Yeah, Epicenter doesn't feel like it's doing all that much damage, though. This could be disastrous for Imprint. They're trying to walk their way away from this one. It's a 3-0 so far. They're not done yet. He ran down. Can we get an Imprint high ground in the chat? It's a 4-0, and suddenly the game is anyone's again, Sneaky Steve. I love Div 3 Dota.
I love Div 3 Dota. This is, yeah, that I think maybe going high ground with 5 heroes alive is a bit of a tall order, unless they get like the perfect. This is the time I want to see Potter go in first and get a big epicenter and a big stun for follow up for his team. That was maybe a little bit of a messy start, but I think really even with the Aegis, it could be a tall order to try and get this high ground. 5 versus 5. They really need to maybe wait for Clinks to try and split push and catch him with a Spirit Breaker, something like that.
Yeah, Clinks coming in towards the Kez here. Outgrab could be in some trouble, but instead
I think this is a mistake from Clinks.
Wins this, yeah. Clinks goes
Yeah, I
down.
was about to say he does not do the damage that he thought he does. Yeah, and that's an easy tip right there.
Yeah, professional Michael. I have professional Michael's mom. He said he's watching in chat. Your little boy just pulled a bit of a stinky one there, and now their push opportunity is pretty much ruined.
Yeah, pretty much. That was a big mistake from Pro. You don't get to do this to a Kez without some hex or some follow up from your Tiny or something like that, or Slardar ideally, but like you don't get to solo kill level 27 Kez with some items. Like it just doesn't happen like that. He didn't even have detection.
Nothing to work off whatsoever, and he is just able to walk away from that one. And now Imprint's going to look pretty damn ballsy in this play now, able to move in towards this top triangle. They do have vision on the DP. They didn't clear that ward. Now Connor's on top of him. I don't think heroes can get here in time to follow this one up quite yet, though. side of it.
bit of chat interaction there off camera.
Yeah, to do a little bit of a quick timeout there. It happens sometimes. Just gotta do what you gotta do. Not missed. Let's get back into this game. Thank you, Blinks. In any actuality, let's get back towards this game. There is a Clinks back up in just about 10 seconds. They're rushing in on the Spirit Breaker. He does do a bit of a do-si-do there to avoid that. And meanwhile, this bottom tower dropping very, very quickly. The Clinks is back in 3 seconds. They need to be a little bit careful here on the side of Imprint. They take the range racks. They're going to stay for the melee. Feels a little bit scarier. He does jump away there on the Clink, so is able to avoid that one for now.
Yeah, that was a nice little. That was lovely. That was just we know what we can get. We're gonna stick to that. Let's not get greedy. So that being said, there's a charge coming out.
Indeed,
There's
there
an
is.
epicenter being channeled.
They're jumping in immediately. They've got the Tiny and this Lich, but they don't finish off either, which now means they are able to pump a lot of damage. And PK dies at the start of this fight. Meanwhile, Connor is able to finish off Plunk, but it doesn't feel worth it. Asgrad finish off Rinku in the back lines, though. That is a ginormous kill onto the Slardar. The Slardar forced to buy back. Asgrad chopping down the Tiny in the meanwhile, and he does finish him off. Double kill coming out for this Kez. In the meantime, this Death Prophet doing what he can to force back these other heroes. Buyback again now from the Lich. Plunk with the buyback. It seems like Imprint are content with forcing these buybacks, are now going to walk away and wait for that exorcism to expire.
Yeah, that was really well done. A nice reset. Look, they lost Sand King. Who cares? Roche is up again soon. So hopefully they can take that Roche and push high ground again before their buybacks are back.
Feels like they absolutely can. It's respawning in just about 12 seconds, and they're going to find the banner, Stinky Steve.
Oh my god, no way. They're going to have double banner. Imagine.
Yeah.
I think, I think Patter was feeling the suffrage there from not having his Shiva's guard as he fully committed onto the Clinks and then got pretty much instantly melted.
Well, I think Patter is somebody who went through a certain access program, never learned how to read. So he saw the banner and goes, Jesus, what is that? Some fucking advertisement or something. I don't want to pick that shit up.
That one of them Dublin papers.
That's a Dublin paper full of lies, full of lies. So he left on the ground. Never.
He was actually so nice to me in his last cast as well.
I know.
He did call me a fraud once or twice, but that's fine. We talked it out.
Yeah. 30 seconds until the guaranteed respawn.
That's a quick respawn on Roche. If you're Imprint, you are salivating. Let's just.
Oh, Brian found it. The ancient texts.
Let's go.
Where did this come from? Holy moly. Yeah, he's very upset, this Warlock, you could tell. But that is a big momentum swing for the side of Imprint. I mean, now, in particular, playing without Rinku's buyback is going to be kind of scary. He does finish off that AC in the meantime, though.
I would love to see a Nullifier come out from fucking one of these heroes. Like, they have 2 Ghost Scepters. You know, I'm sure there's some other things could be purged. I'm struggling to find something else. 2 Ghost Scepters and a Yules. There we go. That's enough reason to buy especially if you're Slardar or Clinks, the people who only do physical damage against the items that stop you doing your only source of damage. And this is a game where you know, it's a real who jumps who verse kind of bursty sort of game. You'd really want to just be like killing, for example, this Warlock before he can ult.
Going to give a quick shout out to Leskin in the chat, most recent addition to Dota 2 Ireland. Welcome to the Discord server. Thank you so much for joining. Let's see if Imprint pull off this one. They do. It's uncontested. And this time they have the Refresher Orb. They do choose to put the Refresher onto the Kez. So he has...
It should be... There we go. It's on Sand King now.
Yeah, that makes a little bit more sense, I was thinking.
Yeah, Sand King Refresher is naughty. Like, it's one of the... Like, it's one of these heroes like Razor. Like, the Refresher is just so core in the build. It's so good. 2 BKBs, 2 ultis. But Potter has been dying quite early in the fight since he... PK, I need to stop calling him by his Christian given first name. Has been dying quite early in the fight, so I don't know if he'll get the usage out.
They've got the 2 banners this time, Stinky Steve, as well. So quite a lot in terms of being able to siege this. And there is just that melee racks left in this bottom lane. Clink's quite disconnected from his team right now. If they go right now this second, the Clinks won't be able to join, but not recognizing that quite yet. They do drop down the banner, and now they're moving in towards these barracks. Pro Mike is now showing in the mid lane, so they know they can go ballsy here if they want to. Clinks, recognizing that, though, is immediately rushing in towards this big Kez. They try to get the backline jump onto the Warlock, but instead it's now Rinku who's in some trouble. He has no buyback here on the Slardar. Promike though, the double kill, the Searing Arrows multi-shot, killing off Big Balls Boy as well as PK, but Asgrab with the monster kill, doing so much work here. A 2-for-1 so far. Buyback comes out from this Tiny. Bad fight so far for Imprint. They're going to be forced away from this one. Promike with that level 25 able to put out so much work, and now they're going to use the Aegis here on their big Asgrab Kez, and it feels like this fight going from bad to worse for the side of Imprint. Everything that could have gone wrong went wrong that fight. The support's just in the wrong place, the wrong time, but now Promike in some trouble. Down he goes. Asgrab, godlike, at least getting something out of this fight here. Only using a Maki buyback to get all that though. They are still very pleased here on the side of D2IR. They're taking out these heroes one by one, and they are going to finish off that Kez. Rinku staying alive in that fight was ginormous, as well as that level 25 hit with that Searing Arrows multi-shot coming off the clinks, clearing both those supports before Brian could even get off the golem.
Yeah, that's tough. There's some key ults went unused. Like Brian died really quickly. Maybe slow fingers on the Ghost Scepter as well. Patter died to the multi-shot after jumping in with stun. It followed him and got him.
And there's a DD for Rinku immediately thereafter.
Yeah, that's quite scary. This Slardar is starting to get to critical mass now of just being able to chain bash people. Like, late game Slardar is a beast once you get there.
Brian tries to get off his big ol' slow there. Does manage to slip away from that Slardar, so isn't just caught with nothing. But look how fast these barracks go down when you have that Slardar knocking on the door. It's dead almost immediately. They have time before Asgrab's up, another 40 seconds. They do not have ultimates up in terms of the exorcism, but they have everything else they can need, and they're just going to take this second lane for free. They pop the second glyph there, trying to build out time, so they are just most likely going to get 2 lanes on this side of D2R, and then most likely back out, right? Concho rushing in onto the Lich. This is an interesting choice, and Patter's going to follow up onto him as well. He is very tanky, though.
Does he have ult on death? He does.
Yeah, this is going to be a bit
of
a
second ult.
TP straight away. Ult from the Warlock, though, this time onto the DP, which means the DP is not going to get away. They're going to catch one. They're going to catch a second. Is that a dieback on the Lich? I think it might just be. Yes, it is. So dieback on Lich, and indeed not on the DP. So DP still able to buy back into this next fight, but a double kill for Patter. They do expend their Warlock ulti in order to do so, but they buy time for the Kez to come back. And they don't even lose the entire second wave, and now you're going to have no Lich in this next fight.
I don't think there'll be a fight before then. This is probably going to be a chilling period. Though they've evened up, D2I have now evened up the amount of racks on the board, shall we say. This is when the late game, coming into 15 minutes, heading towards 60-minute items, this is going to get really messy, and it's probably going to be which team can hold their cool a little better. So let's see if the sort of legacy played with each other forever team on Imprint can kind of rely on the teamwork, or is it going to be
Connor?
This Spirit Breaker has just huge nuts. How does he charge so fast with them bouncing along the ground?
Yeah, it's got to have a bit of abrasion along that rocky surface as his cow balls drift into the night, going towards all 5 heroes. Now with that Roshan's banner as well as that upheaval placed, they are going to be able to siege the last bits of that tower. They do pop the glyph for this one, and they're on to Rinku this time. And he is probably just going to die straight away on Spirit Breaker, but I think they get the racks for free off the back of this, maybe. Yeah, they do.
Yeah, smart move. Smart move.
Yeah, it works.
They really need to start backing out right now, though.
Yeah, get the fuck out. Take my key, take my whole wife too. Do not fight this Imprint. They buy back here onto this Spirit Breaker, but Patter is dead as soon as he goes in. Please do not fight this. Maybe they do. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Look out for the Kez, as well as this big old Largo, but the follow-up is there now. The buybacks are in.
If they can kill this DP, it's huge.
The DP is going to stay alive, though. It's not enough. They lose 2 heroes, make that almost 3. They are still alive in the Kez. They need to get Asgrab out of this one. He does have buyback if they need it. He didn't expend it this last fight. He's going to have to expend it now. They do get a lane of racks, and they get, 1, 2, 3 buybacks out of that fight. But now it's got themselves in a position where it's an all or nothing fight to end this game, Stinky Steve, and Roche isn't up for a while.
There's no buyback on Spirit Breaker either. This is going to be one big hype fight. Let me tell you what.
Bromite coming through this bottom lane with the Clinks.
Lynx
The
is going
creeps
to
are
eat
there.
these, but he is alone.
Yeah,
If he
this could
commits
be a
to this and
bottom-
they catch him with a buyback, that's huge.
They need to pop them now. Honestly, even preemptively.
Oh, he's going for
out
the
tier
end on his
fours.
own? Okay,
He's got a
no,
van to
forcing
drive in
buyback.
5 hours, you know?
That was a smart play.
Yeah, and it does work. They do force 2 buybacks out of that one, but they're probably going to get them anyway. They have a Slardar coming through the mid lane and a lane of creeps with a Clinks.
You're probably going to have to
one or
buy
another.
back on everyone here, but if you can maybe hold Sand King off. Yes, he's bought a Ghost Scepter. Everyone, he has bought a Ghost Scepter.
Excellent.
very
And no
good.
nullifiers still. They're going to need to buy on everyone here. They do buy in the sand.
Buy back on everyone. Let's see if they can chase and catch anything.
PK does catch out the DP, but the DP is a very hard target to kill, and he does still have no BKB for 8 seconds, actually. So this could be a timing, and they're getting set onto Maki. Maki in some trouble here. They do toss in Asgrav. Out comes the Warlock OT. They chop down the Lich immediately at the start of this fight. They have a lot of arrows coming out, though, from this place. Can they finish off the DP? They do finish her off. There's 2 heroes down with that buyback, but Largo, it's a mutual. Nice Ghost Scepter there from Key. Keeps him alive at the last stroke of that fight. So it's a 3-for-0. And now things are looking pretty rough for D2R. No buyback available for the Tiny. There is going to be buyback for the DP, and there isn't for the Lich. And now
Bromite just
professional
feeds like an animal.
What's he doing? Get in the van, sir. Oh. I think that might be it, Stinky Steven. Only the DP and the Slardar are going to be available for this fight.
Yeah, I mean, that could definitely just be it. There's no buy. There is a buyback on DP. Maybe there's some Boots of Travel play with ulti. I would really like someone from Imprint to. I mean, here we go. This is what the Spirit Breaker. Oh, he's charging straight in. Concobar's balls they're like space hoppers.
Indeed. Bonk, 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 bonk. He stops it. Oh no, bonk, 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 bonk. Here he comes, charging onto the Slardar. Slardar can be in some trouble here. Gets hit up immediately. He doesn't get his jump onto Asgrav. He planned this all. The jump was promised to him
follow-ups
thousands of
there.
years ago, and they killed the Slardar. Imprint are doing it from throw to throw. This game has been a roller coaster, but it's hit its brake line as they go towards this DP. Potter misses another stun.
He's lagging. He's lagging.
He's lagging.
Okay,
Oh.
they need to not tune it up and hit some buildings.
This building is being hit. This game is just over, Stinky Steve. Game 1 looking like it's going to go into the pocket of Imprint. This is 1-0 in favor of Imprint in this best of 3 series. They are but 1 game away from securing their lower bracket semifinals against Joons Squad Junior. Gotta say, a really impressive performance there from the side of Imprint Esports. My apologies, my co-caster who's supposed to jump in there can't type and talk at the same time. It's difficult for him.
There's beast that's more important than any cast here. No, that game really was. It was the Asgrav show. It was when he was underfarmed. The game looked really hard for Imprint. Once he got his items, the game looked. They made it hard on themselves, but it was as long as Asgrav was alive, the game was still in the balance, and he really pulled it off there with 58,000 hero damage,
Yeah,
19,000 building.
Really impressive play there. We said it before in our series. We don't particularly want to play against the Asgrav Kez. I don't think D2R are going to want to play it against it again. We're going to go to a quick break here, guys. We'll be back with game 2 of this series in just a few minutes. If you watch that game 1, you know this series can go absolutely anywhere. Tuck in for a late night. We'll catch you soon. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live with game 2 taking place between Imprint Esports and D2R Rejects. After a roller coaster game 1, Imprint end up taking it after what can only be described as a series of highs and lows for the Bogger boys themselves. Let's see if they can pull it back against the Scottish van stack of D2R Rejects. I'm running tell Big Malou on the obs tonight, and of course, my co-caster for the first time this season, who did a wonderful job. Tell him in chat, Stinky Steve, how we doing?
Thank you. I'm good. I'm flexing, but you can't see it because I don't own a webcam. Because you were bigging me up. I would just like to say, Largo, first ban, was that really the problem last game?
Yeah, I mean, I think with Imprint, with how they played this season, I was going to say the Jack Row needs to be kind of within your first 2 bans. They do correctly ban that out, but there is still a lot of options open to them now off the back of prioritizing that Largo. I think Key did a decent job in that Largo, but I think that first game showed, they put their 2 weakest and more players in that top lane, and they did just fine against Key once the first couple lanes were done. In exchange, Imprint stick to their bans from last game, get rid of that Plunk Treant, get rid of the Viper. I don't even know if you need to necessarily ban Viper against D2R.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I mean, it's just an annoying hero, this patch. It really shuts down a lot of like more meta and cheesy stuff. Like it closes down your draft quite significantly. So it's probably good to get out of there. Like it probably is first pickable. There's definitely stuff that counters it. Like, Clinks is pretty good into it and stuff like that. But I don't know, who wants to fucking play against Viper?
Only 10 seconds.
Shout out to Blinks, who's the first one to notice the poster in my background. Thank you very much, sir. It was put up there with loving care, and indeed it is a bit of a spooky one. But let's see what they go for in this one. They ban out the Tusk on the side of D2R, and they ban out the Razor and Imprint this time. So similar bans coming out from the side of Imprint their first game.
Yeah, I'm actually wondering now, have I griefed Imprint by yapping as I'm supposed to during cast? Because I did notice Pro Mike hanging around in the chat being a little cuck chair boy. And they have now ended up banning the Largo instead of the Razor. Oh, well, Razor banned out by Imprint anyway. Maybe I haven't griefed them. But I wonder, did he hear me say Imprint and play Razor? Interesting. Food for thought. Earthshaker first pick. Food for more thought.
That is Mackie. Absolutely. So Mackie has put in some incredible performances on the Earthshaker throughout this tournament. It has been by far his most impressive hero. We saw last game, finding it somewhat difficult to come into this game as such on the hero who was playing last game. But on this Earthshaker, we've seen some incredible performances comparatively to the Tiny. So interesting to see what he is able to pull out this game on his signature hero. Imprint in return, they first pick the Kez.
Holy Jesus, this is confidence right here. I think I honestly believe in it. I don't know enough about Kez to be like, okay, well they first picked it and now they're gonna second round pick like it's hardest counter. But I guess Viper's a good shout into it and that's gone.
Yeah, I mean there are still a lot of things left in the pool that can cause that Kez some grief. So gonna see if they go for it this time. Honestly, considering how good Asgrav has looked in this hero, I don't necessarily hate it as a first pick, but it does open up a lot of offlane options for Barjakun, who has looked very solid for D2R so far.
5 seconds. Hurry.
Yeah,
hurry.
yeah. I mean, last game was a bit rough for him. He did recover, but I don't know. I think DP's maybe not such a hero this patch, especially to be picking that early, even with the flex potential. I feel like flex. I had this explained to me by someone much better than me at the game recently. Flex is kind of
10
out this
seconds to
patch
pick.
because you can't get away with having
5
a
seconds
hero be kind of that countered anymore, So if you do pick a flex hero, it kind of has to be later in the draft at least for a flex hero to come out.
One hero that's made its way through this time that I'm seeing this time of Imprint is the Shadow Shaman, the Brian special, which he has looked incredibly strong on. Wouldn't be surprised to see it drop tier, but instead they dropped the key Underlord first.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean, it's good into Earthshaker with the Ags. You can just sort of grab them and get them. I like this hero. I think Key's pretty good on Underlord.
Only 10 seconds.
I've seen him play it on my team. He's pretty easy to draft around also.
Hurry.
And it's nice lockdown for the Kez. Just let him hit people. the roots are super annoying, especially if now D2I want to draft some big team fight lineup with this Earthshaker. It's going to be hard, you know? And the auras. Ooh, speaking of auras.
The Darkseer is picked up. Easy team fight setup for the Earthshaker if they get him to that blink timing. But it does mean likely they're going to be playing an Earthshaker Darkseer lane, which if they pick a ranged carry on the side of Imprint, feels a little gross.
Well, they can't. They've picked the Kez.
Oh, true.
I mean,
that's the Asgrab. They don't flex it at all.
No, yeah, it's tough. It's I mean, Kez is pretty good at on Dazzle now. These are some interesting picks coming out.
We played against this Dazzle. We played against them, and it looked pretty fucking good. I won't lie.
Yeah, it's good saves. It's good into the Kez. It's not the perfect type of save, like, because Kez is pretty good at switching targets too. With the Kez, and there's the Shaman you were talking about. It's really good into this, I think, already. Especially if they want to put that 5. It stops the Earthshaker just like running at you with the Ion Shell on. He can grab the Earthshaker. Kez can focus him down. I actually don't know if Kez gets extra attack range in his Katana form. Can he hit from outside Ion Shell range?
I'm not sure. The one thing I will say as somebody who is a bit of a Shaman spammer is the one thing you don't really want to see on the opposing 4 is range stun. The fissures that the Earthshaker is going to be throwing out are going to stop a lot of the pressure that you'll be putting on otherwise early with the shackles. Shackles also quite important in terms of regenerating your health in those early levels. So a little bit frustrating for a Shaman to play against, even if it does stop that gap close somewhat. And knowing Brian, he is a fellow chicken fingers enjoyer, so that's going to be really good this lane in terms of being able to pressure that Earthshaker out.
Indeed. Now,
next pickup for Imprint is the Quap.
There it is.
The Patter special.
Is Puck banned out? I think Rinku plays Puck. So we're going to see one of these classic matchups on the mid. But I mean, this is a good Quap game so far. There's not a lot of lockdown. It's not like she gives anything to the Darkseer with illusions or anything. It's good burst for Dazzle. You can get a shard and blow him up with your ult if you really... the game starts going that way. With the bondage talent, it's pretty good here. They currently don't really have a way of killing it. If the Puck comes out, actually, they're pretty low damage on D2I right now. Especially with this Underlord hanging around with like the likes of a Pipe and Greaves. They really need something killy, I think.
Void Spirit is something that Rinku has played before. It can dodge out the Queen of Pain daggers. It's something that I wouldn't be surprised to see them pick up here necessarily.
No, I wouldn't be surprised, but I also don't think it's what they need so much. Like, the Vessel will help, but I don't think it's enough. I'd like to see something. What would I like? Oh, we get to see Juggernaut. Well, there you go. That's not bad. There's no BKB, or there is BKB piercing stun in form of the Kez. So that's maybe not the most incredible Jug pick. But what it does do is when they get these auras up and running and the Dazzle standing behind the Jug, and Jug can just sort of drop Healing Ward, it's kind of a similar vibe to their draft last game of like, we're going to hit a timing and try and barrel down a lane. It's maybe a little bit safer this time around.
They're somewhat all ending on this team fight as well, right? The idea that the Darkseer will get off these combos that enable the Earthshaker, that enable this Omni Slash. They're all ending on the fact their team fight execution is going to be better, which, to be fair, last game, that was the case. Imprint, in many cases, looked like the worst team based purely off of having a worse team fight execution. But, I mean, having not seen Pro Mike in this Juggernaut for a while, I'll be interested to see what he's able to pull off on it.
Yeah, so will I. I mean, it's not the greatest game for an Omni Slash either. Actually, the more I look at it, the more I don't like this Jug pick. Like, it'll be good for you'll get a good lane. Most likely. I mean, they're leaving Connor's hero for last yet again. So we'll see what he can get. Like, maybe, I don't know. Maybe I just like the hero too much, but Shadow Demon yet again looks really good here.
He could also pick up the Bower again here in terms of those BKB piercing stuns. It's annoying versus Earthshaker, but it can catch the Dazzle on the back lines. I wouldn't be massively dissuaded from seeing it this game, especially because it won't be laning into that Darkseer. It's not the worst.
Banned out again, unfortunately. I think you were right, though. I think you were very right. I think it was a good pickup.
I'm very good at making draft calls when it's not my game, Stinky Steve. When I'm playing, it's total dog shit. But when I'm watching the game, I'm locked in, bro. And you're also correct in that Imprint do ban out that puck, recognizing the issues it could cause them. Although, to be fair, with the Shaman on your team, I think puck becomes a little bit less scary. If Shaman can get on top of him, he really becomes a total bot of a hero. Rating now on this Rinku hero, his Leshrac is banned, his Lina is banned, the puck is banned, the Void Spirit is still in the pick. I wouldn't be massively surprised if we see that. The Death Prophet is still there if he wants to take that himself mid. He has done that in the past. It wouldn't be massively surprising to see that picked up here. Anything else you'd like to see? I mean, the Storm ideally could be decent.
Nah, I don't think you can pick it into Shadow Shaman or Underlord. Like, it has a rough lane into Quap. I think the Lena ban was really good. Like, they're just saying Rinku, no 1v9ing this game. You're not allowed to do it. Because also they have save, they have nice stuns and stuff for Alina. They have the healing ward, so she can sit and batter towers. Like, I think they've done a good job. We'll probably see the Void Spirit if I'm correct, or something crazy. I think he pulled it out versus my Quap. We might see a Rinku pick mid line.
Yeah, the mid line was looking pretty damn good that game, and let's see if he pulls it out here. He goes to the mid Legion Commander for the Queen of Pain, like we did.
Okay, I've played this matchup recently. I think it's a good pick for the game, but I think the lane is still harder than you'd think into the Quap. Especially, she can max E and farm, but also if she still maxes Q, it's like 4 second at max, 10 second at level 3. So, and your purge on Legion Commander is like 18 seconds cooldown or something. You're not going to max that shit. So, like, you're still getting... If you purge the dagger, you're getting another one soon. And there's
the Shadow Demon.
Yeah, it's perfect here with the Legion Commander. It's lovely save. He can buy shard and break. Stops people running away so much. I think it's brilliant. I can't remember if you can purge what auras you can purge this patch, but maybe you can purge the likes of a pipe. I don't know if you can do that. But yeah, no, I think this is perfect. More save for Omni Slash. I really like Imprint's draft this game.
Yeah,
I mean, D2I maybe with a blink timing on the Legion and barreling down towers if they just come out of their lanes really well. But what do you think, Mark?
I really like this Shadow Demon pick to round off the draft. I think it's exactly what you said. It's save against the Legion. It's really good save against the Juggernaut. It just feels so effective in a game like this where they are relying so much on getting those burst win team fights. If Connor plays this game well, it feels like a very tough game for D2R, but all eyes, I think, as you mentioned, are going to be on this mid lane. Whether PK can manage to edge out Rinku is going to be so important in terms of their momentum. But above all else, looking forward to another exciting game after that game 1, which was a pretty spicy one at the end.
Yeah, I mean, if we're going to get a game as entertaining as last game, I think everyone's going to be happy, including maybe even most of the people in the chat who seem to not even like watching Dota sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a fair enough take to make, folks. Let's get into this. This is game 2 of a best-of-3 series. Winner of this game goes forward into the Division 3 lower bracket semi-final against Joons Squad Junior, the team of myself, my wonderful co-caster Stinky Steve. On the obs, we have Big Man Malou, the pride of Longford. Let's get into this game as all 5 of the side of Imprint start walking towards these big boys on the side of D2R. Who has the better level 1 here? I'm going to lean towards the side of D2R based purely off the Q from the Legion as well as the spin from the Jug.
Yeah, I think it's pretty even. The Dazzle Q is really strong as well. And yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right on that one. But never discount a level 1 Shaman. Or level 1 Quap for that matter.
Especially with chicken fingers. They are now walking in. They do have a smoke. Seems like we might get a level 1 engagement this game as all 5 heroes of D2R start walking up towards that cliff. They walk around it as to not be spotted out by PK. Rinku does immediately ping onto that top jungle. Key and the Shadow Shaman are here, though, perfectly positioned to stop this go. Are they going to try to go Imprint just notice they're coming, but slowly walk away. And now it's the Shaman who looks like he might be in some trouble from this. They do get a big Firestorm out with the Hex as well from the Chicken Fingers, as well as the follow-up with those Shackles. Lots of damage going on both teams. Looks like Rinku might be first to go down here. One more right click from Key is all it's going to need, but he doesn't get finished off. He does get hit down in the end. It's a 2-for-1 with First Blood going to Plunk, and now the side of Imprint forced to turn tail and try to run here. They get the Shackles off the last minute there from Brian, though, but now it looks like Asgrab is in trouble. Is that going to be a 4-for-2? It's a 4-for-2 with a double kill for Plunk, and they're going to claim both of these bottom runes.
Yeah, that's so worth from D2I. A good engage, good shout.
My internet is fucked. There's something wrong with my internet. I wouldn't have fucking... Oh, Shadow Shaman lag. Oh, it's Brian. Never mind.
Yeah. Okay. Blame the supports.
That's what these guys tend to do, you know? They just blame the supports immediately. It'd be interesting to see as well because, you know, Brian is a player, very, very good, but also I find definitely a more emotional support. If he's feeling confident going into a game, he plays incredible. If he's feeling a bit bad, if he's a little bit turned, a little bit twisted, a little bit tilted, he can have a bit of a tricky game. So not the start that Imprint wanted to have whatsoever at this point, I wouldn't think, Sticky Steve.
No, especially with this Quap having to walk back to base, might miss creeps on the first wave. And at least Scream leveled first, didn't get baited into leveling the Q first. So we will see probably the Scream max from PK. So probably just a boring farm mid now in this case. So that probably favors the Legion commander. This greedy hero needs to build up timings quite quickly.
It was interesting there on that level 1 play, you know, Imprint do spot D2R walking towards them, and they don't do anything about it. They back off and give away that high ground advantage, and in doing so, enable that Legion to get off that 5-man queue, and that's kind of what dooms them in that last fight. I mean, it just felt like there's maybe some miscommunication between the 5 of them.
Yeah, I could imagine, Keys maybe changing song or something. Yeah, looking back on the replay we have on the stream, there was definitely a bit of delayed reactions there. Maybe if they backed off right or had heroes in better spots, that could have been an easier fight for them. But I mean, it was well played from D2I. Like the Darkseer just sticking to targets like shit. Pretty good.
I'm not sure how well stick shits though. Like or shit sticks, I should say, to be more accurate. Have you ever tried to stick it anywhere? Is it like, does it have much adhesive property to it?
During my dirty protest when I got detention in primary school, I was not allowed to go out and play football in the garden. I had to go right lines or something, and I can tell you, to people and walls, if you're on a 3-year-old's diet, it's pretty sticky.
Indeed, it is. You were sticky, stinky Steve back when you were a young boy. And the school had to learn that one way or another. Another thing that's worth noting, they take some damage here on the side of D2R, but they build up all those wand stacks in the Juggernaut. So his ability to go for that greedy level 1 build, getting the Quelling Blade and the Magic Wand, actually paying off in spades for him now, and is going to move him towards faster boots, which means faster kills. I mean, Plunk and Pro Mike are ultimately the winners of that last fight, I feel. And with that added cash flow they're going to have, it's going to be a tough level 1, I think, for this Shadow Demon and this big old Underlord.
That's the scariest thing to come out of this First Blood is Dazzle 2-0-2, and look at that quick buy. He's got boots and tangos ready to go. If he was also looking at a Blood Grenade, which I think might be out of stock for them, actually, that would just be like pants-shittingly terrifying. So it might be a tough lane, but also it's Underlord, right? It's like Sand King-esque. You press Q on wave and you look at your enemies and dare them to do something about it.
At least they do have the Juggernaut spin this time. That is something that can somewhat outdo that damage. Doesn't have to worry about the Firestorm as much as most traditional carries. But as you said, the cooldown on that spin quite long. The cooldown on Firestorm very low, so we'll be able to push in this lane quite frequently. But the Dazzle is going to be a problem, and is going to be something that needs to be addressed. We saw Plunk play this against us, and he looked very impressive on it.
Very, very impressive.
Murphy Arsenal asked in the chat, why is Malu's name like that? Why is Malu's name with these interesting characters, do you think? Is it like Omic or something?
I think it's Malu's background as a shamanic bog wizard.
I could see that. He's got the beard for it.
Can't believe you got
I'm
that
not gonna-
right. That's insane.
Oh, you nailed it! You nailed it, Stinky. Well done. Congratulations.
I also have no idea what that means, but
They're once again flaming that you have work in the morning, so have to start games early, Stinky Steve.
Listen, if they could stack paper and get bitches like I could, they'd understand why I gotta get to work in the morning.
Half of that is true. I'll give you that much. I have the other half,
Yeah.
that helps. I'm certainly not stacking any paper in my profession, but I do okay. Fake Immortal coming out in the all chat from Pro or Rinku. A bit of infighting in D2R, it seems. A lot of all chat yapping as they
Yeah.
face their Division 3 lives going down here.
Oh, aftershocks. Salmon.
Yeah. I don't know what to make of this fucking all chat. Is this what it feels like when you're casting and Joons are typing some nonsense? You're just reading it, trying to decipher what these animals are trying to say.
Normally it's two teams who are a little better at it, right? So like
Yeah.
it makes it a little bit more interesting. PK is not buying into the bait just quite yet, and D2R, in terms of if I was going to give some flame tiers for each team, I put D2R on the lower half of their success rate of said flames.
It's just
So
Pro Michael being very horny for me.
I mean, his mother is watching the stream. You can't say that.
I can
Like,
let her know that her son is in love with a large hairy orangutan from Dublin's fair city.
Indeed, indeed. We're still waiting for Brian to come back into this game on the Shaman. Let's have a talk about these lanes. So you mentioned the mid matchup is somewhat Quap favored. In fact, is that still true with him coming into lane this low health and having the level 1 of the screen?
No. I think if he's gonna go, maybe he goes like I think you really want to be 2-1-0 at level 3 on Quap. You want the 2 points in the dagger, maybe just 1 point in the blink, so you can't be really like manned up on. I think you want the 3 points in the blink, yeah, because it goes down to 7-second cooldown, and the W on Legion Commander that purges it, he's not leveling it, so it's going to stick at 16 seconds cooldown. So you can really get like 2 or 3 daggers out for every one rotation of that. Especially if they kind of think about it, Legion's sitting there like, I don't know if I want to. Oh my god. If Legion's sitting there going, I don't know if I want to purge this one or not, and you can, maybe she takes a couple of seconds and then your downtime's very low on your next dagger. Like, that's what happened to me last time I played this matchup. I don't think it's a super like gotcha getting the Legion. Obviously you can duel later in the game, but I think if you go this max screen build and you trade farm, that's really not what you want to do on a Quap. Like, Quap is a lane, maybe not a lane dominator, against some heroes definitely, but like it's not like an SF or a Viper or a Husker, but like you definitely want to be winning your lane, and you win your lane through harassing out your opponent. Like, your last hitting is fine, you don't really have much sustain. It really has to be on just making your opponent miserable. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this scream. I'll do it probably more times than I should in my games as well. It does still feel good. You'll farm after lane, and you could still rotate perfectly well with it. In fact, I actually think it's easier to rotate in this game. The lockdown is on your like support and your off lane and stuff already. You don't really need that slow from the queue so much. So I don't know. We'll see how PK wants to play it.
He can actually make a decision to go back and heal this time. So gives up just the first creep there, and the bounty rune is left in the mid lane. So Imprint are able to pick up a bit of a condolence prize for themselves there, getting that one. Interesting, it was just left there. ProMike TPing into the top lane to get that first wave, enabling Imprint to be able to get this one this time. And the second bounty. Hang on, they didn't get either of them?
Okay.
What?
Okay, yeah, but it's still a 2 for 2 trade.
Yeah.
Taylor Dota asking who the S tier flamers are in D2I.
Ooh, good.
Anti saying, are there any? There probably aren't. It might just be Mr. Diddles, actually. He's an
Mr.
individual.
Diddles is very good.
Rather than a, yeah.
He's impossible to get back. Like, I've tried so many times. He's excellent. I would say Bambi is definitely in the S tier as well.
Probably like, James as well. Sniper Monkey, he's very good.
Sniper Monkey does do a good job, but if we have to put one more onto the Mount Rushmore, I'm gonna say Strapping Young Handyman. I'm gonna give it to him.
He doesn't publicly flame, but his man-to-man digs in the Discord call are pretty unbelievable.
They're very strong, very strong. Gotta give an honorable mention, of course, to Mr. Maniac, I think, there as well. He's pretty decent at it. I'll give him his dues in that regards. A good flamer when he chooses to be. Let's have a look into
And
these lanes.
look, quantity has a quality all of its own, you know.
Of course. Looking into this bottom lane, so we have the Earthshaker. Oh, we're going up towards the top lane. It is the Shadow Shaman and the Underlord facing off into this Dazzle. So far, looking like they've done decent enough despite the early lane disadvantage that they faced.
Let me put on my last hits and denies, and yes, you're correct. They really, especially level 1, should not be getting anything out of this lane. I guess Dazzle made the mistake of not buying any mana regen, and so isn't going to be able to pump out these poison touches, because that's really like what makes this hero tick in the lane and makes you miserable. It's just getting this slow that never ends, seemingly.
Indeed, and as a result, Key is able to get off to a nice start in this Underlord, going 11-3 off this first wave, but meanwhile, it looks like in the other two lanes, it's looking decent for the side of Imprint. The mid is definitely where they are currently struggling. PK doing what he can to stay in this one. Actually doing okay, 13-0 on this Quap as another wave comes in. It is a tower wave, so it's going to be pushed quite quickly outwards. Down towards this bottom lane, we have a bit of a fight for this little tiny Lotus. The chicken figures coming out there from the Shaman means they are able to exert a lot more pressure, as well as onto this Earthshaker. They might be able to finish off the kill, but he has the surge coming out from the Darkseer, but should have surged himself. Nice use there of the Fisher. He jumps over the Fisher, get a couple more right clicks in, but they are going to secure the Lotus for themselves. And now this Earthshaker is left. He does have triple tangos in one, so he should be fine, but a lot of early harass coming out in this bottom lane, and definitely a nicer start for the Kez than he's supposed to be having.
I don't know if I'd agree. I think this Kez lane should go pretty well for him. But maybe you're right, like a bit of a harass on the level 1 before he really has the damage to kill whatever creeps get Ion Shelled and stuff, or like threaten the Earthshaker away from him with an Ion Shell. But he's definitely chill.
The Dazzle using the poison touch there with the pull. It's one of those things against Underlord. You gotta be so careful when you pull, because you can just have the Firestorm dropped on your own camp, and that's exactly what happens. So Dazzle using all of his mana once again. No mana restoration to speak of on this Dazzle right now. He does have the wand. He pops it there. He will have another poison touch. You need to be careful here on Concho. Coming into trouble, he is spun onto. He managed to put himself into the bubble. Going to be a little bit difficult there afterwards, but he misses the poison touch. It doesn't connect onto this little Shadow Shaman. Now instead, it is Pro Mike who's in some trouble here. Forced to pop the big stick. Dazzle also in some trouble getting right click down. Nice body blocking and right click coming out from Key. One more is always going to need, but he's not going to get the finish off there onto the Dazzle, but he does with the Firestorm. So they pop Plunk in this off lane, and all of a sudden, it's all things Imprint right now as they take a lead in this top lane.
That was nice. That was a really well played, a nice little skirmish coming out from Imprint, not overextending into this. Was it completely missed, the poison touch?
It just, he threw it onto the illusions of the Shadow Shaman, unfortunately, and the Shadow Shaman had made enough distance to that point that it didn't quite connect.
Okay. Yeah, that's yeah, you can't do anything. This is your whole laning tool. Like, Joe can't really spin on people unless they're slowed, you know. Well, maybe he can. This Underlord is big and fat.
Indeed, very big, very fat, like my coat. Well, I didn't finish the sentence. Meanwhile, looking at this mid lane, so the Legion Commander is now at a level disadvantage to PK on this Queen of Pain. We saw him trying to farm up on some jungle camps, get some HP back, but now, as you said, this lane matchup, he's doing great in the last hits and denies, but PK is having a nice game himself, and considering the MMR differential between these two heroes, you'd hope it'd go a little bit better than this. They're on to this Darkseer. Darkseer does have the surge, so he is going to walk away from this one, but is up like chicken fingers with that last hit. Unfortunately, not able to connect with it after the shackles. He does manage to walk away here on Darkseer, but Darkseer definitely struggling the most out of these cores thus far.
Yeah, a bit of stacking maybe going on for him. Maybe this is for Earthshaker or Legion in the mid, but the green rune spotted out and the supports are here. Maybe a bit of a fuck up there not getting it, but I think this should be a kill.
It should be a pretty easy kill here for PK, and it's left for him. A nice free kill for your Queen of Pain. You do lose the regen rune in order to do that, but
and there's that
happy enough of that. Indeed, good try, little bro, coming out. They're going now onto this Underlord, but they have the spin up on the Jugger. They're not quite brave enough to use it because you have the bubble coming out from the Shaman. Once again, this Shaman pick last. I mean, we talked about Imprint prioritizing the pause 4 pick for last, but it really made a difference this draft, it feels like.
It does. I think Connor plays a lot of these kind of higher skill pause force. Oh my god, there might be a kill here in the middle lane. Oh. Connor plays a lot of these higher skill pause fours, I think, where you can kind of, they're not really cheese picks, but they're a bit more maybe specialist. I mean, Shadow Demon's a really strong hero.
Attempt to pull the wave here from this Darkseer. Gets the Chicken Figure's secondary Hex as well as the Shackles. I think he will still get off the Surge at the last minute. Is it going to be enough damage? Yes, it is. Asgrab takes down Barjacoon, so the Darkseer's game goes from bad to worse.
Shindero coming out, you know?
Indeed, that was some great Japanese there. What does that translate to, Stinky Steve?
I don't fucking know. It's if you want me to know something that I didn't, yeah. If you didn't want me to know something that wasn't learned off Instagram Reels, you came to the wrong man.
Indeed, and during that time, they do manage to trade off shrines, so both teams getting their own respectively. Brian does go for the play on his own. Barjacoon has been stacking up. Sorry, Maki has been stacking up in the meantime. Only a single stack on the hard camp, has not managed to stack up the ancients just yet because he has been kind of yo-yoing between lane to get levels for himself. And it means they have been able to put so much pressure onto this offlane. I mean, we talked about this before the game. This offlane should be where they're exerting the most pressure, and it's not right now. And as a result, Imprint winning 2 out of the 3 lanes, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, this is maybe a little bit of a skill difference in the top lane. As we see, the skill difference of Pro Mike not being able to click on Underlord and see how much atrophy or
Jump in from the Legion, but a great do there comes out from this Legion commander. It's onto the Quap. Patter comes in and just dies immediately there afterwards. They do have the link up, but they brought so many heroes in here. Brian trying to come in here through the back lines as well. He is rooted up there in the Legion, so it is just a 1-for-0 at the end of that one, and one that definitely favors the side of D2R, just walking in on a little bit too low HP there in the Quap to make that kind of play.
Yeah, I mean, this is not one of those Quap games, even with the bondage facet. It's not one of those Quap games where you're going to be blinking aggressively and like really trying to fuck people up. Like, you need to be holding that blink for if you see Legion Commander getting too close or this Omni Slash coming in. Like, it's time to play as a nuke, which I think he realized with the Kaya pickup. He's just going to be like, okay, I'm playing off ulti, I'm playing off E. I'm going to wait for Shadow Shaman to grab someone, and then I'm going to put 900 damage in their face and see what they want.
Brian hung around though, and now Pro Mike could be in some trouble here, being chased down by the Shaman. Hit up with that Hex. The Hex is ready. They do have the Shallow Grave, but it's way too early coming out from Dazzle, and the help coming out from the creeps as well. The secondary heal might keep him alive, at least for now, but the Firestorm is here. Can he stay alive? He is alive for now. He needs to move out of the way here on this Underlord. He is able to get away there, but it's through luck more than anything else, or through some poor execution from Imper. They don't allow the Shaman through. He can't get the chicken fingers off, and as a result, the Jug is able to walk away from that one. Not what you want from the side of Imprint.
No, that was a bit of a mess up on Key's part, I think. He chased that healing ward instead of just... He had like 70 atrophy, I think, or something. I'm not quite sure, but I think he would have just... he definitely would have been able to just batter his way through that healing ward heal, I think. It's level 1. Maybe the Shadow Demon could have chased it down if he really needed to.
One thing that needs to be mentioned, though, is the number of denies on the side of Imprint. You know, 17 denies on Key and 24 denies on Asgraf, not giving any dinner to this Darkseer whatsoever. Now just able to man up against him in lane, moving in towards that Battle Fury. Go potentially here onto Key, but Key is too big at this point. He does get full-length Omni Slash, but bubbled immediately from Conqueror, which means the Omni Slash is entirely ineffectual. Once again, the Shadow Demon just paying off.
Yeah, it's such a good pick. A nice bait from Key, nice discipline from Connor, not pressing any spells, just hiding behind a tree, waiting to press the Q. What you were saying about the hero, the denies, I didn't even notice. Check the hero levels. Really in favor of Imprint right now, with the exception of Legion, who's really just kind of chatting it up in the mid lane now.
Attempt to go now onto the Dazzle potentially, but once again, Brian is just being blocked continuously by his own team. This is, as a Shaman player, so frustrating, and it means that he can't get the Shackles out onto that Dazzle, so they miss another kill opportunity. They're putting a lot of resources into this top lane and not necessarily gaining too much out of it. They have moved the Legion into the jungle now to try and give that Earthshaker his level 6. They do have some stacks in the form of that hard camp that have been taken by the Darkseer, but with no ancient stacks to speak of, he is still rather poor here, sitting at a paltry 3.4k net worth at the end of this laning stage.
Yeah, it's not what you want to see from a Darkseer. He's supposed to be a really reliable.
Oh,
Bit of counter. It's fine. It's fine. Bit of counter synergy. It sets up the screen, the Sonic Wave. Be a Scream to finish it off now. Offensive Blink, but maybe it pays off.
yeah, and here is the Underlord with the Pit of Malice. This could be some trouble here for the Legion, potentially. They don't get the dual victory. He does get the heal, so he is probably going to kill off him, but no! In comes Brian
that's
through
a
the
tip.
portal! Incredible plays there coming out from the side of Imprint, moving all the heroes they need to take out Rinko, and now they're heading in towards this top lane. There'll be trouble here for Pro Mike. He's on his own. They know the Dazzle isn't here, but they decide not to complete that TP instead to take down this tower. Really nice rotation there for the side of Imprint, taking that mid tower and taking a 3k lead at the end of this laning stage.
Yeah, that's good. This is more what we want to see right now. And like I wanted to mention it earlier, didn't get around to it. Legion getting the Blink Dagger first, maybe getting overconfident from that early duel, or really just wanting to lock down the Queen of Pain, but they don't have reliable follow-up for this duel. Like, sure, there's a Fissure, maybe you can be Ion Shelled. I don't know, is that enough damage to just 100 to 0 a target?
Potential problems here for Pro Mike, but he walks away on the Shaman. My apologies, I couldn't cross.
No worries. That was probably smart from Imprint, not wanting to tank an Omni without the Shadow Demon being present. But yeah, there's no like Skywrath in this game. There's no Invoker. There's no reliable damage, long-range damage pumper. I think this Blade Mail is going to be maybe, you know, the Legion wanted Blade Mail first, just to farm the Blink quicker, because I think he really needs both of those items.
Kez, in the meantime, is now getting the Battle Fury delivered, so a glorious start here for Asgrab. They catch out this big old Juggernaut. He is hit up with the ulti as well. A lot of right clicks coming out, but he is going to get off the ult, but is immediately bubbled off by the Shadow Shaman. The follow-up with the Omni Slash, though, they don't have a secondary bubble to be able to stop that one, and now he is going to try walk away here on this big Underlord. He pops the ultimate and goes through it. Where is it going is the question. The stun comes out, so they finish off Key. It's a 2-for-0 in this top lane. The first positive fight since that first blood for the side of D2R. Yeah,
that's maybe just a little bit of overconfidence there. It is quite hard to kill this this Jug if you're not 100 to 0 in the Shadow Shaman stun. It's maybe just a little messy. You'd also like Quap, I think, for any kills. Your damage is a little lacking, you know, with just an Underlord. There should maybe the supports be playing around PK a little bit more.
Indeed, and speaking of that, in this mid lane, they do have the duel back up in just a few seconds here. It is now up for the Legion. They need to be a little bit careful here what kind of initiation they make on PK. He jumps in on top of the Earthshaker, gets stunned up for a little bit there. He does have the Echo Slam, chooses not to expend it this time. They do still have the Scream of Pain, but in comes the Blink and the duel. The Shaman is here. He hexes up the Legion Commander for now. The Echo Slam comes out. He's trying to shackle thereafter, but there's no other heroes to speak of and no Underlord Gate. So down he goes.
Down he goes. Yeah, this is what I was talking. Oh, and meanwhile, I don't know. Darkseer died to a Breath of Wind, I think. This bottom lane, he's really struggling. 4.5k net worth is not what you want to see on a Darkseer at the end of the lane.
It's not. He is definitely the one struggling this game. Barjakun going to have to find a way back into this game, but at least on the Darkseer is a hero that can farm quite quickly. But speaking of farming quickly, this Kez just getting larger and larger. Has the Battle Fury finished, almost finished up his Yasha as well, just about 50 gold away from that one.
Yeah, this is he got the same timing on his Battle Fury this game, and I think decided to use it to farm instead of taking crazy fights. What I really want to see now from Imprint is smoke and a waddle up from Shadow Shaman and a grab and Quap exploding whatever he grabs.
Did he use his surge? He did not, but it can be purged off potentially here. He purges before the surge is used. Will he have enough damage? Not with the Dazzle coming in on top as well as the wall as well. A lot of damage being pumped out here, and he is able to escape there on the Darkseer. PK is here. They have Brian as well. They're going in onto this Dazzle, layers those stuns perfectly here from Brian, so they do get the 1-for-0, but a 1-for-0 for a lot of heroes rotated there, giving some space to Pro Mike to farm in this top lane, which he desperately needs. Not too bad, all things considered. Meanwhile, Underlord is going to finish up that pipe off the back of this last fight.
Yeah, that's another important item. A lot of the early game damage is magical coming out here. I'd also like to see a Crimson card from him. Yeah, he has the Vanguard already, so smart things from Key here. He is a very smart player. Yeah,
Indeed he is. And he looks so much hotter now that his hair is short.
doesn't he?
He's so sexy.
I know. I
He
was
told
like,
me-
"Where's the rest of you?" And he was like, "Didn't need it, sure." And I was like, "You know what?"
He told me the day that he did it, he updated all his Tinder photos to show that he cut his hair, and he got triple the matches.
I
That's
fucking
cool.
well believe it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Not to flame his old hair, but
No,
it is an
no, no.
upgrade, certainly. The new one.
I would agree. I would agree. I'm a fan of a nice fade myself. Let's see if they can make a play here around this Darkseer. It feels like they're putting a lot of resources onto this Darkseer that aren't necessarily working. They're spotted by a ward and by a watcher as they walk up to this one. The ward placement, I want to comment on this for a second, Sticky Steve.
Yeah, I see it. It's one step too low.
Yeah, it's just it's an interesting one. It's new meta. You don't expect it.
No, not one bit. Here, Invis though on Legion Commander.
Indeed,
Late
it
mail
is.
finished.
They do have
Scary times to be on the
Shaman here,
team of
though.
Imprint.
and
Oh,
Shaman catches him
he's caught.
under
Grab
the
him.
ward.
Oh, I feel like Shaman's a bit.
Goodbye, Brian.
Maybe just a. Oh, they're gonna fight it.
They're gonna fight this. Here comes
Big
the
scream.
ultimate. Big scream. They do drop off the wall coming out from the Shaman, but it doesn't feel like it's gonna be enough. As all these heroes have come, they do have also this Kez illusion, but Kez battering down the Darkseer on this backside. Darkseer definitely gonna go down here. Legion rooted up as well, so Legion could be in some trouble as well. The infinite roots coming out here. Down goes the Legion. Down goes Barjakun and the Darkseer. 6k net worth. Brian bought back.
Green did buy back. I maybe a bit ballsy, but he is big balls boy. And there we go. There's another kill on the Kez. Kez going for fucking Kaya Yasha. What in the new meta bullshit is this? What have I missed? What did they do to the chicken?
God fucking knows, but it seems to be working so far as they bring up the pace of this game and start pushing in this mid tower. They have the snakes, they have the atrophy aura at 150 right now, so they just shred through this tower. And so far, Imprint have taken 5 towers and not one tower to speak of for T2R.
No, yeah, this is what you get from coming out of the lanes ahead with a shaman. I guess you can just drop them. So, have we seen snakes dropped up until now? I might have just missed it.
Doesn't feel like it, but now that they have them, they're using them, and they're going to be back up in about a minute and a bit. And when they are back up, this tower pressure feels quite strong. Pro Mike, in the meantime, does finish off the battle for Yasha himself, so he has been given quite a lot of space in the meantime. Let's see what he can do with it. PK, meanwhile, finishes up a Kaya and Sancho himself and is building in towards that Aghanim Scepter now.
Yeah, it's a good build. It's going to get him nice and tanky. I don't know if you'll live through a duel with it, but they do have the saves. Blink Dagger on the Shadow Demons ready to go, and he's building into the Aeon Disc. So he's going to be a hard man to lock down, and if they don't lock him down, he saves whoever they do lock down. So I think the Ags is pretty warranted. Like, he will need a Lincoln Slater, I think. But
Drape's pushing into this bottom tower, and Tormentor just about to respawn. So the side of T2R do know they are making this Torment. It doesn't seem like they're in any position to contest it, though. They aren't going to do a passport and walk through that portal, so it is just going to be a free Tormentor right now for the side of D2R, and you get it onto your Shaman, so the foul play, a really nice one to get against Legion specifically.
yeah, I would. They should probably give some farm prior to the Shaman now. He's been sitting a couple 100 gold away from Blink
PK?
for a while. PK? What is he
Oh,
doing? He's getting up
Blinked
to
in
some...
aggressively, but I think he's fine.
He's really
Oh,
getting aggressive here.
yeah, they're onto Rinku. Could be in some trouble here. Echo Slam comes
Big
out.
slam.
Lucky, but a nice scream from PK. They do finish off Contra and start this one off. They have the damage coming out, but it's not enough. Down goes the Queen of Pain and the Shadow Demon and Key. It's a 3-for-0 in this mid lane.
That was strange.
Very strange.
Yeah, a bit of stacking done against the Echo Slammer. Is there any way? Oh yeah, fight recap. I want to see this.
Yeah, a lot of damage done there from the Omni Slash, as well as from the Echo Slam. Actually didn't do that much damage, but it locked them down long enough that it just turned this fight in their favor. And all of a sudden, a bit of deja vu from game 1.
It was the grouping up with the Slash and the Battle Fury. Yeah, a bit of deja vu. I think this one's less egregious than the first couple of fights they took. You know, in game one, I think there's probably going to be some lessons learned from this one and a bit of adjustment.
I do agree with you, though. I do think they need to put a bit of farm prioritization onto Brian. I think getting him his Blink Dagger is going to be super important in terms of catching that Dazzle on the back lines, who has been a thorn in their side, in terms of catching out that Earthshaker. It just feels like a different hero before and after Blink on Shaman.
Yeah, 100%. I want to point out, by the way, over this series, the wards from D2I have been really good. These like deep wards that Imprint don't tend to catch. I mean, there's 3 of them, maybe a little much.
This is a dead Barjakun. They do rotate a lot of heroes to do it, though.
Yeah, he's rough. He's having a rough game. It's not the greatest Darkseer game. I guess they just said, look, we're going to pick it early for you. You know, it's a reliable laner, but I don't know. It got Kesed maybe a little much that this hero is difficult to predict.
Indeed he is. And speaking of difficult to predict, the side of Imprint, recognizing the dead Shaman, type Darkseer, go straight into this pit. They drop the snakes, and now it doesn't seem like D2R are in any position to do anything about this. Asgrav, though, disconnecting. What is going on with the Bogger boys and their shitty internet?
Yeah, he lives in the city, the center of the city of proud Dublin. I don't think this should be happening. I think maybe he has brought the bog with him.
Get your pens out, guys. Asgrav lives at 12 Druid Valley, Cherrywood, County Dublin. Everyone go there immediately and say hello. It's a very, very nice part of... No, that is not where Asgrav lives. It's where an equal hero lives there, some might say. A man of legend on the Joons.
A man of legend.
So it's all good. It's all good. They're doing fine. They're going to take out this Roshan very soon and get a free Aegis out of it. It doesn't feel like there's any kind of contest they can do, even though they do take it kind of slow.
Yeah, but that they have the outposts. There's no TPs for D2I. They have the outposts secured on Imprint.
Yeah, very heads up there from the sports to be able to do that. And Brian, off that gold, should get the Blink Dagger. Yeah, another 40 gold, and he's going to get it on the Shaman.
I just saw the replay of the last fight. The vacuum was unbelievable from Barjakun, actually. So I guess it's one of those spells that even if you're...
We surged.
Oh, he's a bit of feeding, maybe.
Yeah, goodbye, Barjakun.
Yeah,
After curse to the extreme, bro.
Yeah, just talking about how cool and awesome he was last fight, and now he does a bit of feeding. But look, happens.
Indeed,
he did hit a 4-man back wall while the Omni Slash was going on. Kind of cooked Imprint in the last fight.
Something that's worth noting, by the way, we haven't talked too much about him because he had a really quiet game just farming, but Pro Mike has taken over the top of this net worth chart.
Yeah, he was involved in he at least got an assist for everyone Imprint that died in the last fight. He went from 4th to top now off the back of that team fight.
The tower pressure is still coming in from the side of Imprint, though, and they do have that Aegis to back them up, so they are going to barrow down this bottom lane, putting some pressure onto that T2. They do have Key on the Underlord. Underlord now has finished up almost that Crimson Guard, but choose to go back instead for the Aghanims first.
Yeah, you know, they're lacking a little initiation on Imprint, and I think he recognizes that. That's what the Axe is for.
Potentially could be for the Dazzle. They do get the Courier killed with the Blink
with the Blink.
That's rough.
Yeah, that's not what you want to see. I think that's honestly a back off and reset. Waiting a minute and a half for that Courier.
I think so too, especially with Snakes. Snakes are down, so they don't necessarily have a free... Oh, hang on, though. The Legion could be caught here. The Kez is on top of him. Does he have the damage? Doing so much here. They have the gate coming in. There's no BKB on this Legion Commander either, so Legion just dies. Rinku out of position, caught out by the side of Imprint, and they take him down. And there goes the Patter voice lines. He's feeding himself now. He's going, let's fucking go, boys. He's on his own. Kill him. And he gets him.
He also said that in the match against Cool Mine, I think, or rather after it.
No, what he said against the match against Cool Mine was, yeah, by 40 points, they're going to win the league. Something along those lines, I think, was his exact words.
This is hitting a man while he's down, though. Well, he's up at the moment. Look at him taunting and voice lining away. We do like Patter. We should qualify that for the chat. He's a good guy. He just talks.
I was just about to say hitting a man while he's downs, but you know we can do it. You
Also,
know?
Hull is my. Oh, that took a second to
too much. Right, let's get back into this one. 3 and 15 seconds to a blink dagger, I suppose.
I want to draw attention to the map here. Look how many red eyeballs there are. Is this bugged?
Yeah.
Have they bought out? This is a lot of words.
It looks like a medieval depiction of an angel.
I
You know,
don't
just
think they're
1,000
going to be
eyes.
playing next to Imprint's tier 2 mid anytime soon. I don't know if this word is a fucking thing for them. Okay, well, it's play stages.
Yeah. And in the meantime, they are getting a trade for this tower bottom, but they've lost all outer towers now on the side of D2R, which, despite only having a 3k net worth lead, feels a little rough. Feels a little rough.
I mean, the net worth is going in their favor though. Like they have some heroes like the Legion Commander is very similar to the Slardar last game. How do you do this all the time? The Slardar from last game where it doesn't farm so well, it kind of wants to farm heroes, and it's not really farming heroes this game, but it's still keeping up and out.
Indeed, and they're putting a lot of pressure onto this top tower. They take out about half its HP, so the next push with the snakes is going to take it down pretty damn quickly, but only, you know, a minute left on Aegis right now. Barjakun doing what he can to try and split push out this bottom wave. TP's back now, and Imprint forced to walk away without being able to expend their Aegis in the end, but definitely happy with the run of play that happened off the back of them securing that Aegis.
Oh, I think they're so happy. Like, Asgrav has the BKB finished. Does he have something else on his courier? He had something queued up. He's going into the MKB, I guess, to counteract that butterfly that's coming out on Juggernaut right now.
Indeed.
I don't know.
Spotted.
Do you not just want the butterfly anyway on Kez this game? You care about this mischance? I suppose you do.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they're recognizing the fact that Pro Mike really is the X factor right now for the side of D2R. The Legion is keeping somewhat parity with the Quap, but Barjakun 9k. They do spot the smoke. Brian walks into four of them. Hello, Brian. He's dead.
Okay. That Fisher may be unnecessary, but he might just catch Key anyway.
Yeah, Key could be instrumental. Oh, wing around the rosies here from the Legion Commander. They don't have a ton of damage here to stop it. And they do have the Shaman here, to say the Shadow Demon here, to try and stop any follow-up. And Key just big balls all of them, says,
there might be.
Go at me.
There's no jewel. There might be a bit of baiting done here by Key.
Indeed. The Juggernaut's coming in the backlines, though. This could be a bit of
that's scary.
A little bit scary. They do have the bubble back up. Don't use it yet on the Shaman, please. If you do, your team fight could be in jeopardy. And in comes Barjakun.
Oh, there
again,
it is.
With the
Barjakun
does throw out the ult, but it's not enough. They kill off 3 heroes almost immediately. Despite having no net worth, all he needs to be this game is a vacuum button, and he gets it off. And that's a 4-for-0 so far in favor of the side of D2R. PK is picking up a kill off the back of that one, making it 4-for-1.
He could clean up here.
This game is completely shifted. He could clean up potentially. He does not have the Sonic Wave right now, though, so killing off this Legion will be somewhat of a challenge, especially because the Legion is going to have dual back, and she does use it immediately onto Patter, but is it enough is the question.
He's probably fine. It's a blink away. No!
Live.
The procs! Jesus. That's a bit of a throw.
Yeah, Imprint tossed their lead.
Sleepy.
I gotta say, Brian there with that blink in on the Shaman, just like, you can't do that when you don't have vision of a place where the enemy is likely to be. It's just such a tough position to put yourself in, and consequently, they just open themselves up to being completely demolished in that team fight.
Oh, the ward not spotted out by Brian either. He's got the sentry on it, but he hasn't managed to deward it just yet.
Indeed, he has not, and as a result, just able to be kept into this game. The side of D2R, you know, Roche could potentially respawn in 50 seconds. They do scan out this go onto this top Tormentor, but they're not in position to try and stop it. Are they going to passport issues again? You have an Underlord. You don't need to do it.
Oh, no.
Lads, don't do it. No, they're just going to wait for it to go bottom, but it's not going to come bottom. Plunk is going to get it as well. What a gorgeous shard to pick up there. Getting the Nothel projection one, which basically means that if he's disabled, so if Shaman is on him with anything other than Hex, he can still get off that novel projection. That is a nice one to pick up there, as well as the healing amplification he gets from it with the build of that Holy Locket. That's going to feel really good. Looking at this game right now, it's a 3k net worth lead for the side of D2R. They have pulled this back into their favor. We might be facing a layer Knight, and they do kill off Pro Mike's courier with the Aghanim Scepter, though. That is really big for their next fight.
That's quite nice. Yeah, Pro Mike with no deaths yet. I think his big brother got on the keyboard or something. Maybe it was Mike.
Oh, Legion? Maybe Rinku and him swapped keyboards? Because now this Legion is caught out, and he's pretty damn dead to this Raptor dance. Asgrav getting that kill as well. The exact hero you don't want to get it, and suddenly it looks like Imprint are going to be in the right space and the right time to maybe take this Roche in 20 seconds.
Yeah, it's respawning bottom pit. Yeah, they definitely could be if they spot it out, especially.
Just 15 seconds now.
Yeah, they're setting up for
back.
it. They know what they have to do. Take the outpost, clear the waves, get vision, etc., etc.
Etc. Indeed, Stinky Steve. And that is exactly what they're going to do. Secure up this position. They need to move back now and take this. It is now back up alive in the bottom pit. If they check it, they will get it.
So no
Shaman-
Kezamine. Kezamine
No.
is farming on the opposite side of the map to his team.
They're not going for it.
You hate to see it.
Yeah, it could have been a really big go for them there if they got that.
It is a very early spawn. Like they're getting the gifts this game.
They are going to catch up to
Choosing to-
Dazzle, though.
Yeah, quick pick on this guy. Maybe back to Roche through the pit. Maybe we take it all back. It's back through the portal, boys. No, okay.
They do a buyback on the Dazzle as well. They don't have the outpost to try and get him in fast enough. It's a hard calculus for the side of Imprint to make because it's a big risk when you are facing off into that vacuum Omni Slash, that AoE team fight that the side of D2R have this game. Just not willing to make that risk at this point in the game, which feels sensible enough. Kez has finished off that MKB, BKB now, and is building into that Butterfly next. When he does get that Butterfly, I feel like he's far less fearful of this Legion, far less fearful of that Juggernaut. And they're starting to march down this top wave with the tower already low and Brian with the snakes. I think they just get this for free.
I would like to say that they do, but still a scary team to go high ground against. They have a lot of counter punch. Like he can only do so much now. He's kind of past the zenith of his tankiness. So yeah, free tower. Take it and run.
Indeed, and Pro Mike still waiting for his courier to respawn. It will respawn in 1 second, giving him that Aghanim Scepter. Smoke comes out from the side of D2R. They are walking in towards the side of Imprint. The Legion is in the front line.
Oh, this is
Found
the back.
Kez, and the Kez is the one that's caught, and they don't have the Shaman near enough. The Shaman blinks in, though, stops the duel in its place, but it's not enough because the follow-up is there from the Earthshaker to catch the two of them out. And now, instead, is the side of Imprint who are facing trouble. Hit up with that Aghanim Scepter Swift Slash onto Key. As tanky as he can be, but not tanky enough. It's going to be a 2 for 0 in this top lane, as the Queen of Pain is not there to help this fight.
No, and that's maybe it's now time for Adam to realize he needs to run with his team a little more. It's time for him, and the immediate Lincoln's queued up, I guess. He really needs to be there in the fights for his team, and they need to jump first. And they also need to jump the Dazzle pretty much straight away, or at least put him in a box while they kill someone else.
And now it looks like D2R are going to use this advantage to press the Roche. The thing we were saying Imprint should have done a minute ago. Imprint are going to trade off to try and get a bit of damage onto that bottom tower, as well as potentially the Wisdom Rune. But in the meantime, losing that Roshan feels really bad for the side of Imprint. They're going to get the Aegis onto Pro Mike. Pro Mike already has not died this game, and now he has an Aegis. Batter, don't stay for the Wisdom. Get the fuck out. Good boy.
But I was gonna say, stay for the Wisdom.
No, man.
Read it up.
No.
I think they're definitely. Once he had vision of the Legion there for a second, he's kind of free to do what he wants if he can't see, or if she's showing. But closing in on the Lincolns for PK, which is gonna be big. They don't have the greatest of Lincoln pop for D2I, so it's a pretty good choice.
Indeed it is. Only really that poison touch able to get rid of it outside of the core abilities, outside of that swift slash, that omni slash, and that duel. So definitely a good pickup here for both of the cores and recognizing that quite well. But meanwhile, you know, the pressure is now being exerted from the side of D2R. They're 5k up. They've got an Aegis in tow. Things are feeling a little rough for Imprint. They're going to need a really big team fight. I feel like the name of the game is picking Mike before these fights, but with that Aegis, it becomes a lot harder.
With the Aegis and with the Dazzle, it's really quite difficult. So they are playing with their cores somewhat disconnected for D2I. It might just have to be a case of waiting for them to split up and catching with this blink on Shaman and Quap.
Indeed, looking back towards this top lane, it seems like Imprint not willing to give up this high ground advantage, hoping one of them wanders into their trap, but instead they're just going to go bottom, and this Juggernaut's going to shred these towers very quickly if he's left alone, and indeed he does. Moving in with those buffs coming out from the Dazzle, they throw out that, ooh, look at that Manta dodge, very sexy. Legion's immediately in, and he's on to Conkebar, but Conkebar is taking no damage on the back of this big, positive with a follow-up as well with that swift.
Oh, there we go. That's a lot of spells whipped.
They are whipped. They could do it here, but the Scream is pretty ineffectual at the back of this one. They're trying to come in here on the Underlord, do what he can, drops off the big Pit of Malice as well as the stuns. Do they have enough damage without...
Where's the Kez? There he is.
There's the Echo Slam. It lands onto Key, but no one else. But now Kez needs to do so much damage here, but he's hitting the Blade Mail, which means that Rinku is going to go down. Just about gets out there on Asgrab, so it's a 1-for-1 so far, and a 1-for-1, oh no, buyback from Connor as well, so 2-for-1, so it is somewhat favoring the side of D2R. Banish comes out here from Big Ol'.
Look at the base though, Big Balls Boy in with the snakes on the racks.
Yeah, he's got him.
That's a full set.
Sneaky play, and now they're caught up with this Pit of Malice. They have the Kez in as well, doing a lot of damage up this Jug. Jug forced to run away. He has 7 stacks of poison on him as well.
Catch.
He's going
no
quite
catch.
low. No catch, unfortunately, there. And they get the buyback on Conkebar, but they lose Rinku, and they exchange racks with the side of Imprint.
Oh, Aegis is still up. They could honestly reset and go back in 40 seconds.
Still 2 minutes left, and he's closing on that level 25. Going to get that extra Omni Slash duration. Quite a big one for him to pick up indeed. And a game that, once again, Sneaky Steve, it's impossible to call.
Yeah, it's really hard now. I mean, it's definitely going towards what does Gabe and Newell says 80% win chance for D2I. I wouldn't say it's that high, but it's not. It's close, you know. They're definitely pulling ahead right now. 7k net worth. Oh boy.
They are, and with Kez going down in the previous fight, he does live that one, but hang on, problem for Big Balls Boy, does jump away. Kez now forced into that Lincoln's means no butterfly for a long time.
What if Big Balls Boy got testicular cancer?
Maybe he
Or
does.
testicular torsion, for that matter.
I think, you know, knowing Brian Big Balls Boy as well as I do, I think that's the least amount of concern you have to have around his private parts and what diseases they might or might not have. I know about his frequent holidays. I think there's a lot more to be worried about for that boy. Hex comes out here onto the Juggernaut, full length use of the Firestorm. Gets the spin off though, so is just able to siege down this tower. Maybe Deny comes out here, doesn't quite do so. Pit of Malice is still here. A lot of damage. They get the shots out onto the Juggernaut, but immediately cancelled. And now instead, it looks like it's he who could be in trouble here. Here comes the big duel, but the duel doesn't follow up with the use of that bubble. Snakes are in a very nice position. A lot of damage being put out here from the side of Imprint, but they haven't finished anyone off yet. And Pro Mike on a monster kill streak. He still has his Aegis as well. Somehow Barjacoon surviving through all this as well. They've killed off the Shadow Demon. He has no buyback. The Juggernaut could be in some trouble here. This is probably his Aegis going down, and indeed it is. But they have to back thereafter, maybe?
No, there's a definite back.
Yeah.
I think that was maybe some poor target priority from the Kez there. Just going kind of all inning while he was allowed hit in that fight. He was hitting the Darkseer after spells used. I think he really needs to be focusing in on that Dazzle with his silence and stuff. So, what is going on here?
Hex comes out, a lot of damage onto Pro Mike. He just bought the BKB here on Asgrab, so Asgrab wants to go in here. Once again, focusing in onto this Darkseer. The Swift Slash doing a ton of damage there to Mr. Asgrab, and he is forced out off the back of that, but Rinku is caught up by the Pit of Malice. He stands the high ground, waits for a duel, but now might be screwed for doing so. Drops the duel, it's onto Key. Key is going to go down. They have the Dazzle ulti as well, so it's another kill onto the side of D2R, and D2R starting to run away with this game, starting to push down these barracks, and very little they can do. They get off the Hex with the follow-up from this quad, but he has the spin. He's going to be able to just chop down these barracks. Down goes that last tier 3. Pro Mike putting in the performance of his life right now. Gets off the Swift Slash, but blinked immediately away by this quap. But Jeepers, they are looking pretty troublesome right now. He gets off the shackles, but it's onto a spun man. Triple vacuum there also from Barjacoon, but D2R is still standing unpunished. Can they finish off the Legion? Great use there of the Shadow Demon ult. Means they can't get off the jump, but a good blink from the Legion means that's
just a little bit too much delay in that ulti there.
Indeed it was. 25 seconds till Kia's back, and these barracks are looking pretty troubled. No ultis to speak of other than the Kez, so down it goes quite quickly. Meanwhile, the Juggernaut will have the Omni Slash back up now. Does get hexed up here if they can catch him out here. Nice shackles coming out there from Big Balls Boy, but do you think the damage? Not without Asgraf jumping in, and Asgraf delays his jump in long enough that he actually isn't able to finish off that Juggernaut, and the Juggernaut is able to walk away, so it's another free set of racks. There are now 2 lanes of racks down. The creeps are pummeling into the base though of D2R, so they do have to send back the Earthshaker to deal with this.
Yeah, they're having a huge problem committing on the side of Imprint. They're just not able to lock anything down and kill them. There's a lot of cancel for the Shadow Shaman shackle at the moment. He doesn't seem to get a full shackle off ever. Maybe needed to be kibbied this game. He could be finishing it up now if he didn't have Aether Lens and Perseverance. But I think what they really need to do is somehow get this Kez on the backlines and killing this Dazzle. Because they can't commit on anything while he's alive, and you know, it's kind of hard to kill him.
Indeed it is. Asgraf did buy out for the Lincoln Sphere, so won't be caught out by a duel next fight, but it feels like his damage is falling off considerably.
Yeah,
that Butterfly's needed.
That Butterfly's needed, and no Manta as well. I think the Manta's stack is passive as well, which is a big source of damage for Kez. So yeah, Butterfly, I would even say Swift Blink. Swift Blink at this stage, just fucking kill the Dazzle.
In comes the Legion, she is smoked. Could catch out a hero here. The Shadow Demon is ready with the bubble if they choose to do so. Fight over the big Tormentor, it would seem. They do scan them out here. Conchabar, this is not the time to blink in a bubble.
No, there's no Dazzle though. Earthshaker's starting to catch up, but I don't know if they're ever gonna take a fight.
Oh, good start to the fight there with that Pit of Malice. Stops them midway, and now Teleport has to be popped by the Legion.
Oh, good attempt on the cancel. Who have they caught?
The Jugger. He has to Swift Slash onto the creeps, and Maki with the follow-up as well. Really nice play there from the Earthshaker, securing their exit. They will probably still get the Tormentor, but that's all they're going to get in exchange. Actually, no, Barjacoon is back there for some reason.
Barjacoon is back there.
Yeah. Barjacoon is behind.
Barjacoon is behind. Yeah, he just got caught out by Brian on the side.
Now it's a free shard being taken by the side of Imprint. There's going to tear down this Tormentor. Who is going to get it? It's going to be Concho, so that's the Demonic Cleanse, if I'm not correct.
Yes, that's the... Is that 2 ult charges? No, just Gags. Demonic Cleanse.
Yeah. So Demonic Cleanse is a really useful shard to have in a game like this. Being able to press it onto that dual hero when your bubble runs out is super, super nice. In terms of the heal that it gives you, a solid 450 can keep you alive in some of these more marginal situations. But meanwhile, D2R, recognizing the amount of emphasis that's being put onto that top Tormentor, say, okay, take your Torm, we'll take the fast respawning Rosh.
And this is a DD and shield rune on the Legion. These late game runes are rough. When you're playing against them. They will take it. Refresher Orb as well. That could probably go on the Earthshaker.
Indeed it could, and now Imprint once again on the back foot.
Still 0 deaths on Professional, Michael. What is happening?
I don't know. Professional Tricycle having a fantastic game this game.
Check him PC.
Yeah, you gotta check. You gotta check. It's that guy who was supposed to play as a stand-in versus us. I believe his second account was called Super Smurf, the one that we were sent. We're like, might be a guy with more than one account, perhaps. But yeah, it does feel like Imprint's timing is a little bit gone right now with how big this Juggernaut is, especially because the Kez did not go for the Butterfly.
The next item they're really waiting for, I think, is this Wind Waker from Underlord. Like, there's a bit of save there. Yet again, no nullifiers on the horizon from D2I. So less needed this game, I would say. And a Hex on Darkseer. I don't know if we saw that in the last fight, but that's also quite the difference maker. Like, Kez, one of these heroes, if you can't lock him down, he gets very slippery, and the Hex will make all the difference. And also, it's a Lincoln's break for Jules.
Yep,
Jules? Jules.
Duels.
Oh, passport issues?
Seems like it. Rinku tries to make a jump onto Big Brills Boy, but he actually gets away from it. Now the Hex is there. You have the follow-up as well with the Shackles, and the Shackles there. Hello, Rinku. This is exactly what Scotland did in the first 10 minutes versus Ireland, and it's showing once again as they are unable to come back from a difficult start. So a really big kill to start this fight off somewhat nullifies the effectiveness of your Aegis. You're still going to have 3 minutes left in it, so still need to play a little bit careful here from the side of Imprint, but a very big pickoff that's going to definitely delay the plans of the side of D2R.
Yeah, that's a lovely little pickoff. Stall out the Aegis a little bit more. You get to play the map a bit better, especially with the pressure that a Legion Commander puts on the map. You know, that the fear of that Blink Jewel is gone. They can still obviously kill you, but it's just a bit easier to push out creep waves and stuff.
Indeed, and right now, looking like this game is starting to settle a little bit. Back down from 11k net worth, back down to 6. And the Kez is buying out. He's choosing to go for that damage, going straight into the Daedalus.
Yeah, makes sense. They are having damage problems, so it's time to get killing stuff. I really think my Flame has powered Professional Michael up this game.
Interesting.
He really makes me want to go to bed late.
The Shaman went for a Lotus Orb. It doesn't feel like there's that much to reflect this game.
No, there isn't. But it's for Omni Slash.
Yeah.
It's the big Omni Slash counter, but it's quite not tricky, but you know, it's a bit fiddly to get it right. You have to, obviously he's not going to ult a target that's just Lotus Orbs, or maybe he will. I could eat my words. I hope he does.
We'll see a Samurai battle.
Yeah.
Some people fear those,
Samurais.
Apparently, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I thought samurais were quite cuddly and stuff.
Some people, man, they fear them deeply.
That's strange. What type of people?
My camera just ran out of battery as soon as I said that, and I don't know what's happening, but I think I'm being infiltrated. As soon as I said that, my camera goes da 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 and turned off. So definitely questionable things happening in Run and Tell's room. Not the first time that has happened. Getting back into this game, though, it seems like it's a bit of a slowdown period. Imprint able to make this lead go down even further, down to a 4k net worth lead now. Imprint definitely stabilizing this game somewhat against D2R.
Yeah, this is actually crazy that they've brought it down this far.
During an Aegis.
During an Aegis, I mean, it's good map play. They have an Underlord, so they're not super scared of getting, like, picked apart. He's allowed to play on the map, mini Spectre or whatever, mini Dawnbreaker. But they're definitely going to have to be ready for this fight. 'Cause if they lose 1 or 2 heroes before this fight even really breaks out, like Brian is being a fucking ballsy boy. He's living up
Big
to
boss
his name.
boy.
No, they can't.
There he goes.
I mean, that's a pretty good hero to tank that Jewel on. If
He's going to power play after as well. The power play is going to get him out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Nice.
absolute W for Imprint. This might be
Indeed,
a reset. No, it's a big fight.
Well,
Kill that Dazzle.
Can they do it? They can't kill it. Dazzle Graves himself this time, so Dazzle will go down immediately thereafter following this fight. And down indeed he does go in the Dazzle, so it's a 1-for-0 so far. They have not used the big ult on the Echo Slam on Earthshaker, but they have used their Omni Slash. They are going to turn tail and run as that Aegis does expire, so a successful hold from the side of Imprint.
Very successful, and now this could be a real reset and go again moment. He is being just the biggest fucking set of nuts on this guy.
Yeah, I mean, he can afford to, but now they're going in onto the Kez instead. They don't have Duel right now, but the stuns, it feels like it's going to be enough. There is also
beautiful Wind Waker.
But now there's the Echo Slam, the Refresher popped as well. So much damage with that.
He doesn't have mana for a second.
No,
oh no, he did use the second.
Ready. Seconds already been used, and now instead they're on top of Maki. Maki is all but dead. Down he goes. He, meanwhile, kind of dealing with the other 3 heroes on this team. He does go down eventually, but it is a good trade so far. Buyback is spent by Plunk as well as by Big Balls Boy, and by Maki now.
This is going to be the defining fight of this game. This is win or lose. Who has buybacks? Everyone? Not everyone.
Balls Boy,
Yeah.
he might be in some trouble here on the Shaman potentially. He has the chicken fingers once this guy's out, and the chicken fingers lands. The hex is there.
Big ulti. They're focusing on the double.
Juggernaut. The Juggernaut's dead in the back line. That's bigger. Down goes Pro Mike. First death of the game for him, and down he goes. The Dazzle is forced away from the fight, so he can't save his Juggernaut, and now they're forced to turn tail and run. The Brian is there once again.
And that's a
Huge
dieback.
place for the Shaman. Down goes this big old Darkseer, as well as
And
a
no
dieback
buyback on
the Dazzle.
Darkseer. Holy shit, get in there, boys.
Indeed, they've many creeps to deal with, but once they deal with them, I mean, this base is looking a little bit weak. You've no buyback on any of, you have buyback on the Juggernaut. He will have Omni Slash when he's back, but without the setup that the Darkseers afforded him,
Is
this
this
is a
a
little bit
bug?
rougher.
The Quap and Shadow Shaman did the exact same amount of damage that fight. I believe it,
Brian
actually.
pulled off a ginormous fight there, gotta say.
Yeah.
Potential jump here from the Legion, but there is a Shadow Demon behind him, so he isn't willing
And there's
to go
also,
quite
oh
down
my
like
god, this is a
Brian?
dieback if they can get him. Buyback
He's doing a
him.
lot of damage. It feels like he's gonna go down, and down he goes. Brian in the last 2 fights. Big Balls Boy. Let's
His
go.
nuts are just too big. He stole Connors from last game. He's keeping them in a jar.
Man, as I said, we've had many discussions about Big Balls Boy's genitalia this stream. I have some inside information about his holidaying tactics. And I will say, if they're enlarged, you should probably call a doctor. It's probably nothing to do with confidence, but they're going straight for the Ancient, it looks like now.
This is a
Pro Mike,
5 versus 3.
the long gang.
Glyph is used. No backing off.
No. Pro Mike's going
Quick
to the back of the
reset.
fight. He might take out the Shadow, even though he's going for the...
No, he's going to cut the wave, but I don't know if that matters.
I don't think so either, because they've got these big old shards. They're trying to do what they can to make a team fight work here, but instead Barjakun is the one who's in trouble, and down he goes. The Legion is able to escape from that one for now. Pro Mike TPs in the end, gets the Omni Slash off, but it's onto the Wind.
But here's the Wind Waker.
So he manages to def away from the back of that fight. Now instead they're hitting onto the Ancient. The Ancient is getting pummeled down from the side of Imprint. They're getting the kills in this back lines, but they're losing their Ancient in the meantime. Can they
He's
finish
just
off his
dragging
base?
them away.
They're killing them. He's dragging them away. He has them all dealt with, and now it looks like Imprint are going to win this game. 1 or 2 right clicks. Oh, he's going to take it down.
Oh my god, what a photo finish from Imprint. Oh, so well played from Big Balls Boy and from Key. Holy shit. I get to go to bed relatively on time. Fuck you, Pro Mike.
Stinky Steve goes to bed. And gone to bed also is D2R Rejects going out in the quarterfinals of the loser bracket, putting Imprint Esports on track for a semi-final game against June Squad Junior and ending D2R's run this season.
Yeah, that was an exciting match. Like, honestly, okay, I'm unjoking for a second. Like, both teams played really well this series. I think this is maybe one of those things of like Imprint are a legacy team. You know, they play here all the time. They're really used to playing with each other. This is maybe one of those things of like, it's 11 o'clock at night. They're the ones still locked in. They're more used to it. You know, they're more used to each other. Maybe D2I Rejects, but they also, to be fair, did play a blinder. Like, unjoking for a second, Pro Mike played astoundingly that game.
sure.
Like, he put his team on his back in that final game. Like,
Both
unfortunately, first game as well. He played really well, but like, especially the second game, he played well. But honestly, can you please stop typing in Twitch chat now? Holy shit. But Imprint, no, they really, like, every time we see this team play, they improve, like, incrementally, sometimes exponentially, like Connor Conkabar. He really exponentially improved from the last officials we've seen him play to these ones, and he's always been a good player. Like, but this team is really good. Lots of respect for them, and I can't wait for our series against one. Hopefully, we'll give them a good one.
Indeed, I hope we will. Guys, coming up soon in the playoffs, as we said, June Squad Junior is going to be playing up against the side of Imprint. Passport Issues still to play their series against Ausgang as well. The loser of that playing the winner of the aforementioned series. We just want to give a quick shout out to our observer, Malou, who has had to stand by as we slandered his home county and his people for all of this evening. Done an incredible job. So a massive shout out from Malou. Want to see some love in the chat. Also to my dearest Stinky Steve joining me on the commentary desk for the first time this season. You did a wonderful job. It was lovely to have you. Last things
Thank you,
last,
sir.
please do join our Discord. There are details in the chat already. We've had new people joining this evening. We have a LAN. It's coming up very soon. We would love to have you there. If you're interested, please do join the Discord in the description. That being said, we've had a fucking wonderful night of Div 3 Dota. I'm very excited for our game versus Imprint. Imprint progressed. D2R are out of the tournament, but put up some incredible performances. Should be very proud that that is the way they go out. And I am a little bit quaking for our game versus them, Stinky Steve.
Very much so. Fuck this Kez hero. It's getting banned first phase.
Yeah, Adam, practice some more shit. We're not letting you have this. Good night, folks.
Good night.